Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Tubes Taylor here with you from Duff TV for this SFL elimination final between these two sides, the Cygnet, the Port, and the new Norfolk Eagles. My man, Aaron Peach Roberts, good afternoon to you.
Music sounds better with you, Tubes. And we are back together and we are in the lovely Huon Valley. And there are the Cygnet boys. Barry Hall is in the middle of the camera. And take away from Barry Hall playing an elimination final, these two teams have played incredible football games this season. A one-pointer, and last week was a kick as well. So whoever wins today plays next week. Whoever doesn't win, they hang up the boots. And they will have a cold beer, maybe a few, to end their season. So a lot of motivation, a lot of reasons for this game. And it is a little breezy here. There's a northwesterly blowing. At some stage, the southerly will come in. So interesting, if you win the toss, it is huge because the wind will change in about 45 minutes.
So you're saying kick to the right of screen.
Kick to the right of screen, and then you may get the win 3 times in the game.
And there he is, the big recruit for the Port this year, Barry Hall, who we caught up with a little bit earlier. We also caught up with the coach of the Port, Ben Cato, a little bit earlier. Joined by Cygnet senior coach Ben Cato here before the game. Ben, a big game of footy today.
Yeah, massive. As you can see, the crowd's starting to build out there. Big Baz is suiting up again, so it's a bit of energy about the place.
Just touching on that, this is his 4th game for the club?
Yeah, that's correct. He had to get his 3 games up to qualify and been good enough to come back.
How's his body feeling? I mean, last week's game was touch and go for you guys. It was against this same side. How are you feeling this week?
No, pretty good. He's pulled up all right. He's a bit sore early in the week, but no, he's come right. And it's good feel. A couple of tight games against these blokes. 1 point and 7 point last week. So good to be at home, though, I think, away then up at Boyer. So how does that home ground advantage suit your footy side? Probably it's just that, that home feel, but also it's a big ground up at Boyer. It's a fair size out here, but we just know how to play that. You think up at Boyer you can kick the ball a certain distance, but it doesn't go as far. It's a big ground up there, so no, we like this one at home.
And as far as Barry goes, how focused are you on him?
No, he gives us that focal point. But the biggest thing, he lets Ben Holton go up through the midfield and give us that extra big body. So, and then we've also got that target down at full forward, so it works all right.
All right, Ben Cato, we'll leave it there, mate. Thanks very much for joining us, and all the best today.
No worries, thanks, Tube.
There we go. Down here, Barry Hall, mate. Great to be back.
It is good to be back. I haven't played back-to-back games for nearly 6 years, so the body's a little bit sore, but I got up this week, and obviously elimination final, it's a big week. You sort of got to get up, and because you don't want to die wondering. And
you're invested in this now?
Yeah, well, I'm here, so whatever game I run out for, I take serious, and the boys are a great bunch, and hence the reason I'm back. I wouldn't come back to a club I didn't enjoy to start with, and they threw out the invitation to qualify for finals, and here we are. So as I said, it's a testament to the club and all the blokes in it. I wouldn't come back if I didn't think they were genuine.
What do you think your chances are? You played these guys last week. Your chances into this game being an elimination final. There's no next week if you lose. Chances this week?
Oh, we're a good chance. Look, it was a pretty competitive game last week, and there was a bit of feeling. So, but it's cutthroat this week. So you lose, you're out, and it's higher stakes. So I'm sure they'll be fired up and ready to go. I'm sure they would have thought that they should have won the game last week. So it's going to be competitive, and if it's got the feeling it does last week, running into a final series, it's going to be a good game of footy, I think.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, Barry. Thanks so much for joining us, and all the best today.
Thanks, guys.
So there we go, Barry Hall and Ben Cato from the Cygnet Footy Club, the Port. As you can see, they're fired up and ready to go in here. About 20 minutes until they run out for this elimination final. I'm excited. I'm pumped for this game of footy. Back to you, Peach.
Well, Tubes, it looked like maybe at the very end of that interview with Barry Hall, a little bit starstruck, or were you just releasing the tension?
Well, Peach, he's a massive fella. He's big.
He's a friendly giant, though,
looks like I've blown out. When you put me next to Barry Hall, he is looking fit, he is strong, and I look...
all the opposite of those things.
Doughy.
That's okay. You don't have to get a kick today. No. Your job is to describe the action, sell a narrative to the fans out there, and also pump up some of these sponsors.
Yeah, of course, the Cygnet Top Pub, Tom and Moore with the B&D roller doors. Go and see them. The elite painters down here in the Huon Valley. Tascon Constructions, who are doing heaps of work across the whole state. Huon Valley Community Bank, the Bendigo Bank, Southern Smash Repairs, and of course, Clennett's Mitre 10, the Trade Centre up there at the fork in the road, Peach.
Yeah, and some fantastic sponsors that have got the Duff mobile over the saddle into the beautiful valley here. And there are the teams. Now, one big out for Norfolk is Blair Wardlord.
Yep.
Played a key role in last week's game, one of the best players on the ground. I suppose the talk and the conversation around who's going to match up on Barry Hall. I actually think it might go to young Farrow. I think he's playing today. So there's going to be some movements and some machinations that will need to be done. The sun is shining. The wind has currently dropped. And we're ready to kick off in. There's Barry Hall. He's got Rowan Heron on him at the moment.
Yeah, well, I talked to him, and Rowan Heron was pretty sure that this is the only time he will ever play on someone older than him. That's what he said.
Tell you what, Rowan Heron's probably a better half-backer, like further up the field. So if Barry tends to run, which I imagine he's not going to get any more than 30 metres from the goal square, Heron might be in a bit of trouble.
We're away out. It comes through the middle. Nice tap down by County, down into the arms of Eisel. Couldn't quite get a hold of it, and it's scrappy stuff as we'd expect. Eisel goes in and drags a few players off his teammate down at the bottom of the pack, who was Geordie Banks-Smith. Ruck contest again. I'm very interested to see County up against Schuth. Schuth wins that one out, and the quick kick forward came from Deadrock, who gets it to centre half forward for the Port. On hands and knees, scrappy kick out from Morgan. That one clears into the middle of Cygnet Oval. Down for the coach. That is Joshy Clifford. He gets caught holding the footy. Nice tackle laid by Dyrene, and it's a Cygnet free kick.
Yeah, that's Dyrene of the Mitchell variety. So a couple of Dyrenes. There's always got to be Dyrene. Marcus Parker, 9 goals last week, Dance. In there also Palmer, Andrew Palmer, the captain. It's always going to be a good player. Now into Joseph Dyrene. Barry Hall with his first touch. Trying to reach down and grab the football. Couldn't quite get it. Now Jennings. Jennings goes past it with Nathan Eisel applying some pressure and brings him to the ground. So the first foray forward. As we mentioned earlier, the wind is going to the right-hand side of the screen. So it advantaged Norfolk early.
Ruck contest here at half forward for the Port. Big punch away by County. Finds its way in towards Holton's line of sight. He picks it up, spins around and sends it back to where it once came. Scrappy stuff here on the half-back line. Tangata has it and no one's got it. Actually, at the bottom of the pack, that could be Cato.
We'll see the ball over there a fair bit today. It's a northwesterly, which will push the ball just across. And that's generally the attacking side of the ground here at Cygnet Oval.
Ruck contest again. It's one down by Schuth. Going through Holton, just went after nothing but the footy. Quick kick forward again. That might have been Cohen that got it off the boot. Tangata's going to win it now. It comes out nicely picked up by Heron. He got his kick and finds a teammate in Daly. Daly moves the ball quickly up to the wing. A scrappy kick. It lands in the arms of Livingston. Livingston goes long in towards Cato, and that one beats everyone, and a boundary throw-in.
A couple of sloppy entries into that sort of right forward pocket there for Cygnet. I'll be a little disappointed with that. And it was out on the full. What I saw in the last couple of games that Barry Hall's played, the ball use from, and even though they did lose the game against Lindisfarne, the ball use and kicking into the spot, into the gap in front of Barry Hall was really effective. Yep. What New Norfolk have done with Rowan Heron there, they've able to get an extra player kind of back into that spot, take up some space to prevent that little kick into allow Barry Hall to run onto it. So we're interested to see how that works, particularly as we see the wind change. So Holton on the mark there, the far side away from us. So it will be picked up here by the ruckman for New Norfolk. Now, the wind is also a little swirly on the left foot, County. High kick. It's not a bad effort. Really clever. Finds Lovell. Lovell needs to turn and play because he had a man leading out. There it is. So kicks to a 1-on-2 contest. Parker at the back of the pack. But Duggan with his fist punches it away. And now Cygnet will rebound through Livingston. Livingston to half forward. A little hold there. Just grabbing the side of Jai County's Guernsey. Not paid by the umpire. Cato in there just toes it off the ground. Then he goes and picks it up. He has some pressure. Tangata. Another solid tackle. It's a pretty feisty game of football early, Tubes. Yeah, it is. A quick rush kick out. And we hear a whistle here, and the umpire has found a free kick. Yeah,
it'll go to the Eagles for a little bit too high. That's a nice long connection, and that goes long. Couldn't quite mark down there. It was Polly. Scrappy stuff on hands and knees. Out it comes quickly out the back for Toby Cohen. He gets his handball away, finds his man Palmer, the captain or co-captain, down towards the big fly who was Jake Dance going over the top. Out it comes from Morgan for the Eagles, sending it long. Now it's a 3-on-2 in favour of the Port, but that one will race across the line.
Just a player down behind behind play as well. I'm just trying to work out who it is. Got my binoculars today,
Holden,
but
I think.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it is.
He's getting up now, so he looks okay. Just copping off the back of the pack there. Still no score here. 4 minutes into this elimination final class here in the Southern Football League. Cygnet is the place, and it's a tremendous venue. There's players dragging each other down. So not many disposals have actually been effective or efficient so far, which is probably indicative of a breeze blowing, but also of some good contests as well.
Ruck contest, one down again by Schuth. Scooping it up was Palmer. Couldn't quite get it out. Schuth goes in like a big ruckman on his hands and knees. Scrappy stuff. This one will go to Livingston. Get a free kick for a hold off the footy. So he's at centre wing. Sends the ball low. That one's no good, and it finds a man on the opposing team. That could be Cody Morgan, who has it at the half-back flank for the Eagles. Sends it up, looking for a teammate down there in Bierman. That's a push in the back. He's tackled hard.
Interesting one. They didn't call that one. We're not going to get a replay on that, but just getting off his knees was Bierman, but maybe just turned him in the tackle. So Bierman, County, just pushed off as he's trying to get away with a handball there.
That's a great tackle.
It was a really good tackle because he actually ducked down then, Heels, and able to just get down, I think it was Nelson, and hold that one up. So not a lot of action in the scoreboard variety, but plenty of momentum coming into this game. Cygnet with a victory. So both teams have won a game against each other this year at the opposition's home ground. Yeah. So a win for Cygnet last week at the Aboya Oval, and earlier in the year, Cygnet lost by a kick here, or in fact by a point. So it's just come out the back. Not really getting around as that handballed out by Livingston. He's had a really good season again in the Southern Football League. But once again, that kick out of that half-back region has been chopped off. So Norfolk on half-back. I think another chip option. It's dangerous. It's going to be nearly Palmer. Now, the umpire said no mark. Palmer reckons that therefore is holding the football, but probably in the end, 50-50 result, and it's going to be a ball up.
Just on that, Peach, you're right. There's just been too many turnovers at half forward for the Port. They're going ahead, but Morgan's just doing what he wants down there, just running around. As we go back to the footy live on the wing, it's picked out nicely there by Jennings, who sends the ball long to this half forward area where it's been turned over again and it goes out of bounds. And we'll see a boundary throw in. Just having a look out there, Peach, I think Duggan, our man Nathan Duggan, could be running around on the hot tag on Jacob Wigg. So keep an eye on that contest. He's right in his pocket wherever he goes. I
have no issue with Wigg being sort of a bit of close attention, because if he gets on the outside, he can turn the game over and get Marcus Parker into the game. He's got such good kicking skills. He's a bit of a barometer in the middle of the ground as well. So probably not a bad tag option if that is the case. So we've got a ball up here. A lot of players around this will have to try and navigate and get a kick away. So just a box kick, as they call it in rugby, up to half forward. It's been defended on that occasion by Josh Farrow. He isn't playing on Hall, but I imagine at some stage young Josh Farrow will potentially move on to Barry Hall. Rowan Heron might just tap on the shoulder. Hey, young mate, you need to have a go on the old fella. Kick comes out. Ball's dropped out of the hands of Hill. Does manage to get a handball off to Bank Smith. Smith around the corner. Kick a little bit too high, and as you can see, the wind just throwing the ball a little bit further in the breeze. So you probably at times, as an offensive player in attack, you may have to be at least level with your player, if not potentially ready to go back and play from behind.
So boundary thrown right at the centre wing on the opposite side of the ground from the broadcast here. Rucks do duel. One down nicely by Schuth, down towards Livingston. He gets his kick forward. Couldn't take the mark, beat Joey Dyrene, but running through was Cohen. Cohen sends it long in the Hall direction. Hall, right on his hammer, was Heron. And that one's popped up, and that's good running. And a nice mark taken down there by the Port player. I think it could be Luke Patton.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if, at the moment, Port are a little bit focused on Barry Hall, which is fair enough. He's a player that kicked a bunch of goals, 7-5, and I think another bag as well. So that makes sense. But Norfolk are defending well as a group. So they have to be clever here that they don't keep going for him.
In comes Patton from a tough sort of a kick, I guess, an interesting area, but he makes it the big 6-pointer, and the Port are on the board.
Now, those people tuning into Duff TV and hear this, either live stream or later on, there are a lot of cars here. It's dual parking all the way around the ground. There's a good crowd to our left-hand side. It's probably around 1,500 people. potentially a few more. Hard to tell how many people are in the cars, but certainly a nice little atmosphere and a wonderful little country ground. And the car noise out of our effects mic was substantial with that first goal on the board there. We might have to turn the effects mic down as we've got Palmer just in front of us. He's just coming in having a drink there. He's probably nearly the most influential player at different stages for Port. So kick off the ground, didn't make contact. Eisel ran past it. Then he laid a tackle on Schuth. Eisel again, trying to navigate through about 3 or 4 defenders there. Now, short kick on, it's not. It's just gone on a half volley, though. That was Joe Rudy would have claimed the catch. Coming out with a handball, not particularly to anyone, but if they can run this one, it'll get towards Livingston. Generally uses the ball exceptionally well. That's a clever kick. Over the back here. Now, a bit of run on them for the goal kicker pattern. Tap forward by Dance. Dance has some speed. Gets it up to half forward. There's some defensive work required. Tangata, good handball, and he'll release for now to a one-on-one contest. And now Foster might have given away a free kick here. Yes, he just had the hand on the shoulder, so they're going to go back into attack again. Livingston, he's at about 7 or 8 touches. Hole at the back, can't quite get the ball. Goes into a bit of space. Hole might get onto it again. It's defended at the moment, though, by Morgan, and he will just tip the ball further afield.
He's doing whatever he wants down there, Morgan, as he goes and gets it again.
Is he playing a loose man at the...
I'm not sure. I think he's actually playing on Jake Dance. But anyway, the Eagles just doing their best to get out. Nice handball over by Banks Smith, goes out of bounds for a boundary throw. And yeah, I think he could be down there on Jakey Dance. So, but he seems to be reading the play really well down there, Cody Morgan. So great work from him. Boundary throw in on the right forward flank for the Port. That one got taken away with the breeze. The ruckman go at it. Out it comes the back for Burgess. The big man tackles Livingston into the ground. Another ball up.
Just a bit of a shout out to the man on top of the van. Martin Duffy. It's a little sway and a little breezy today. And they did change location due to the nature of the wind. He wanted, for health and safety reasons, did a report. We were on the other side of the ground earlier, and we had to change this side. So that was too easy because coming over the top was Daly. The ball was in the air for a long time. That's really easy for a defender to spoil that one. Just running past was Tangata, and now 2 players gathering to get the football are going to have a throw. So this, you're right, Tubes, they're kicking into that pocket and they're really favouring that side. It's been easy for the Norfolk defenders. Tapping it is Burgess. It's released for now up to half forward. It's going to be punched towards the boundary line and it's going to be out of bounds in front of Livingston.
So another boundary throw, and as we expected, Peach, it was going to spend a lot of time on this side of the ground. That boundary umpire is certainly earning his money today.
Yeah, right bicep's going to be a little larger, I'd imagine.
Boundary throw in, Schuth up against Burgess. Burgess wins it down to his feet. The only man down there was Cohen, off to Livingston quickly. Down inside the forward 50, Holton runs back with a flight, but a nice mark down there to Josh Farrow.
Is he playing at Holton at the moment? I think he might have turned onto him.
And another quick kick up the line. And a good strong mark down there to Ben Lovell, who moves the ball on quickly. Dangerous kick across the face of goal, but it's worked out okay into the arms of Slater. Or Slatter, if you like. As he goes long, inside 50, nice mark to Clifford, just worked his opponent under the ball beautifully, plays on quickly, has a man deep down there. Daly's the man as he flies high, good defensive work again. Parker goes through hard, but it's the defensive work of the Port who will work it out through Verrill, off to his teammate running forward, and an easy mark, a strong mark to Patton, who plays on quickly, moves the ball up towards the half forward of Holton. Holton's going to have to fly and beat 2, and the umpire's called a boundary throw-in.
Just got to be aware sometimes what your opponent kicks, which foot they did just down here. I think he might have thought he was a right footer. He ended up turning onto his left and went around on his right-hand side. So just awareness of where your player wants to play on. So we've got to throw up here. Burgess in there is going to get his hands on it. Doesn't really advantage anybody. That was nearly a high tackle later on Verrill. Just on the edge, trying to grab hold of that is Ben Holt. And he just goes, stacks on the middle, pushes the ball into the turf, as well as a Norfolk defender and a ball up. So lovely sunny conditions, a little bit of snow around the last few days in southern Tasmania, and the wind is kind of inconsistent and swirly as George O'Neill and Burgess. Ashley Burgess involved in the ruck. He'll be in and out of the ruck at different stages. Livingston with another touch, but now Norfolk just steady. But there's that kick. I think it's the wind that's really impacting on the handball. Daly, his kick to a one-on-one contest has been chipped off on that occasion. And a high high tackle. Maybe out of bounds, Nathan Duggan copying one. He just tells his number 16 opponent there, Jacob Wee, get out of my face.
Boundary throwing at half forward now for the Eagles. Schuth up against Lovell. Comes down, quick kick forward by Verrill. Coming through to meet the ball though, the opposing ruckman. Burgess takes the mark at centre wing. No one really to kick to, so he moves it out wider, finds his man in Daly, takes the easiest of marks and moves the ball on quickly. But it's like the two ruckmen have got some sort of competition together where they're going to kick it to each other. Livingston got his handball off. Coming through hard. That was a good effort, nicely by Doreen, big Joey Doreen. Handball's off again. The run kept coming. The Port moving the ball forward. Out it comes for Jake Dance. Got tackled as he tried to get rid of his handball, and happy to see it across the line. Daly.
They're doing a really good job at the moment in Norfolk at actually compressing the space that Cygnet have when they want to run the ball, particularly when a turnover occurs. They're compacting in around the defender. There's just no lanes for handballs and run at the moment. Eisel's one of those really smart defensive work. It's now we'll see what happens, and it tries to be picked up here by O'Meara. Let's see if they get a couple of handballs here. There's one. Cowan, such a good player, such an improved player, but some run out of defence from Morgan. He'll go onto his left, not his preferred foot. Kicks it into a little bit of space. Thompson. He couldn't get it. It's been turned over here, but the kick, gee, look, that's once again, the kick just not on the money. Yes, the wind is playing a role, but Payton was all in the clear, and if he had had that football in his hands, he could have easily turned around and gone for a shot towards goal, or certainly put it into the direction of Barry Hall. So throw in here.
And half forward now for the Port.
So we've got Brereton, I think, in the ruck at the moment, and it just goes towards his feet. Burgess kicks it off the ground, and now that is, I think, out of bounds.
Yeah, just for a throw-in, I think, there, Peach. So right at centre wing again, the ball's spending plenty of time over in this pocket. It hasn't been the most beautiful football to watch at all, Peach, but I tell you what, it's a contest all the same. 6 points separates these two sides. It is 1-6 to yet to score. Cygnet in control, as we will see the umpire take the ball and ball it up.
Well, of the earlier season metrics of close games or any factor, and actually been close throughout. The last game, Cygnet came from a few goals down to win that game at Norfolk, so they had a little bit of momentum, but they've been really closely matched, and they've obviously won nearly the same amount of games throughout the season.
Yep, ruck contest again. Brereton gets beaten by Burgess. Nice attack on the footy from the Eagles as this one goes in forward, looking for Clifford over the back. Just left it behind Marcus Parker. Clever touch on by Clifford. Parker finds his feet. Clifford's running hard. The numbers are with the Port as that one goes out of bounds.
I don't reckon Parker doesn't pick that ball up 9 out of 10. Oh, sorry, does pick that ball up 9 out of 10 times. Very rarely. He's really good when the ball's on the ground, particularly on that side of the ground. So Barry Hall's missed a couple, trying to grab the ball under a bit of pressure. Marcus Parker's probably missed 2 as well with the ball at his feet. So throw in here. Good opportunity. Parker in the ruck. Now goes to ground. The ball's just kind of trapped underneath him there, but the umpire said didn't have an opportunity. His arms were pinned. Now, I'd play a player that looks pretty ferocious as Andrew Palmer. Particularly now he's got the little goatee going. He's got some sort of Viking haircut happening there. And he has an intensity about his look. Punch. Eisel doesn't get away. Opportunity for New Norfolk. It's screwing around too far and a minor score. So New Norfolk on the board.
Just such strong stuff around the contest from Nathan Eisel. That's what he's in there for, and that's exactly what he did. Perfect execution of why he's in the side as it comes out for Palmer.
He's also an Eisel. There's a ratio of Eisels to New Norfolk
that's
side.
Right. The kick goes out, finding a teammate in Gordon. Gordon in the back pocket for the Port.
Yep.
His kick goes long, and a nice mark almost taken out there for the Eagles. Big tackle laid a little bit too high.
He's not happy either. No, he's now sitting on the ground like a schoolboy and saying, well, no, you didn't pay the mark. Chucking a little dante. So just attacking side of centre wing. The throw comes in. The wind just kind of has a bit of influence there as it drags along Lovell. And they're calling for a throw up here and a ball up. So holding the ball. One team wants a holding the ball. The other wants to have it neutralised.
How good's that set up over there in that red car that she probably got from Jackson Motor Company? Just got the visor up, sitting in the back ute.
It's not a bad spot to watch football. The great thing about this ground, it's slightly raised, so the ground's a bit lower down. I'm assuming there used to be a bike track around the ground. I don't know the history of this oval, but It's got a nice little grassy embankment which dips down. It's a good spot for the football in the sun as well. Another player in the sun is Joshy Walsh, and he runs it over the boundary line. And another throw in here. So an opportunity. Let's see the setup here. We've got Parker in the ruck. On the defensive side of that pack will be Andrew Palmer. And trying to get his left hand onto it was Brereton. So it's kicked away here. So Brereton, I think, is a good option in the ruck. And Burgess has moved off, but turnover here. So this is where New Norfolk had let themselves down. As young Rowan Thompson couldn't get a clear disposal away into Foster. He's tackled. 3 Cygnet players drag him to the ground. And we'll have a throw up.
Yeah, good work by Palmer, just as you say, Peach, just set up on the defensive side of that contest, and he's done it again here. Let's see if the ball lands in his arms. Run down, quick kick away by the Port. I think it was Cohen, punched away. Now it's a race, picked up again by Foster. He gets it out to Bierman, who sends it long, but at the front of the pack, the Cygnet defender does well. Down there, I think that's Adam Duggan. He brings it out from full back. Sends it wider. Clever touch on over the top to his brother, I guess, or cousin Duggan, and Wig takes it and gets tackled hard. Duggan's riding him like a cowboy, and then he gets his handball up to Cohen. Quick kick forward again. Who's down there for the Port? Barry Hall's in the area. Which way is he going to go? He swings around, just goes hard. The big ex-AFL player goes in towards goal, and that's what he's here for, folks. Barry Hall with a beauty.
Well, I'd like to say vintage Cygnet Barry Hall. That vintage Barry Hall, the only player in AFL history to kick 100 goals for 3 different clubs. And if he keeps playing this, he'll kick 100 goals for Cygnet.
Have a look at this. Just strength in the contest. Joshy Farrow had no hope. And Barry Hall with pinpoint accuracy directly into the breeze, if you don't mind.
The first game he played, I was really intrigued how he seemed to have more time than other players. And therefore his decision-making is really good. For a player who's 42, so he hasn't played really any footy. He's obviously in good nick. He obviously does some training and keeps himself fairly fit. But he still has enough time. And I know he's playing in a lower division than what he's used to, but his time is Cohen, who also has plenty of time. He gets the ball out. They've probably won a couple of extra balls and a little tough tackle there by Reece Jennings. And we're just going to have a ball up here in half forward.
I just think it's footy now, Peach.
Maybe, yeah. He creates space. He's getting space, but I mean, yeah, there's obviously some understanding. It's Jai County, he back into the ruck, couldn't win it. He's going and get Brereton. Cowan might get there first. He probably lays a tackle without the player having the ball in their hands. So it's going to be a free kick. Rowan Heron playing in front of Barry Hall at the moment, but it's going to be a free kick here to New Norfolk for a holding the player. So they're going to play on.
They need a goal here.
Well, they need a lift because they're a bit behind. It's Daly. Awkward left foot. And that's resulted in a kick. It's gone up towards Palmer. Palmer loses it. He might go back in again and try and spill that ball out. O'Neill, who's had a really good season. Kick not great. Another turnover. It's kicked back to where it was only a few moments ago. Trying to run out and mark that one was Lovell. Couldn't quite get his hands on it. Palmer spins out of that tackle. Gets his hands onto it. And now it's just cruising out towards Verrill. Verrill goes backwards to gain some ground. Gets it back again. Now it's towards Livingston. Cato with his right boot. But it's turned over, and it is scrappy. Turnover again. So banging back and forth. Livingston to Hall. Hall reaches up. Juggle. Couldn't get it. Pushes his player to the ground. Josh Farrow now picks it up, and it'll just ease things maybe for a little while, or maybe not for very long. Is that holding the football? Yes.
Yeah, great tackle. Brilliant tackle by Luke Patton. And as a young fella, that's what he can do to you. How about that? I don't know, maybe a little unlucky there.
Yeah, I reckon a 50-50. Not a terrible decision, but one that could have easily gone the other way.
So Luke Patton will go from a tough angle, a kick from about 35, 40 metres.
This is kickable because the wind's kind of partly going over his left, I should say over his right shoulder, kind of slightly across him. So if he kicks it out to the left post, he's a chance.
And he comes. It's a pretty straight kick. Barry Hall's happy with it, and Luke Patton's kick too.
I'd like to have a look. Might have a look at this kick again. There's a fantastic technique here from Patton. You know how some people just look confident, nice straight, and just ease the ball through, and you can see the wind just get it there and hold the ball, but it went over the goal line. And there on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard, Cygnet had the early advantage. There it goes, flashes up. New scoreboard last year. Looks pretty terrific. Got the Port colours on it as well.
The Aqua.
The Aqua.
Speaking of aqua, I probably need to take a mouthful of my delicious
All right, I'll keep
H2O.
going here. So ruck contest. They can see to break this one out. So New Norfolk will get it out through Wig. Hasn't quite cleared it. Port with the ball. Now that's a high one, so that's going to be a free kick. Sloppy. There's going to be a push and a shove and a cuddle. Maybe a slightly more than a cuddle as Ben Cato going in there. And
Probably a little late from Wig there.
You know what? Sometimes they go through the motion. Ben Cato's lost a bit of his jumper. So number 23, he's had a bit of it ripped off. He's only got a small little string line left there. So anyway, it's going to be the free kick here to Verrill, is the man who was hit. Now, the umpire's blowing the whistle. Is the right player? I don't think it's 50-metre penalty. No, it is. So 50-metre penalty. Did you see what that one was for, Tubes?
No.
I did hear some language through the effects, Mike, because there on the New Food replay, the high tackle, and they were just, it was really automatic. High tackle, we've got to go and show that we care. But in the end, it was probably not deliberate in many ways. It was just more sloppy.
Yep.
So, Verrill. He might be having a shot here. I reckon he's a little too far out for his right foot to get the journey, I should say. We haven't commentated for a while. That's horrible. Although in saying that, it might have worked. It's just dropped out of the hands of Patton. And why not kick it to him? Because he's kicked a couple of goals already, but in the end,
and I tell you what,
bounce.
I've just had eyes on Barry Hall, and if you don't think that the competitive beast isn't still in Barry Hall, he was screaming at
well, it should have been kicked.
Verrill.
Well, it should have been kicked into the space. So ruck contest here, knocked down by Doreen of the Joseph variety. Cygnet with some numbers, quick snap over the shoulder, but a defensive mark taken by Norfolk.
So the Eagles, just to slow it down here, can't be long left in this term. It's 25 minutes young as that kick goes into that defensive half-back flank. No one really wanted the footy. Quick kick forward by Cato. Jennings got his handball up, looking for a teammate, couldn't find one. Quick kick around the corner by Chaplin. It's coming straight back, though, through the form of Doreen. Mitchell tackled, laid nicely on George O'Neill. Spinning out of trouble, though, the Port bring it forward again. Holton with strength. And this one should stay in the area, and it'll be a ball up.
They'll be disappointed. I don't think the wind's such an advantage now. It's probably slowly turning around to the west, maybe going slightly across, but they haven't looked like kicking a goal in Norfolk, have they, Tubes? And they would have come into this game knowing that they had to keep the crowd quiet, the confidence of Barry Hall down as well. And they haven't been able to do any of those things. As Hall's kicked a goal, and Livingston, Palmer and co have had plenty of the football. Trying to grab down and reach into that one is Jordan Eisel. He had no luck. Rushing through was George O'Neill. Couldn't navigate his way through that little space that he saw. And we'll have a throw. So 18-1 here in the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. And this elimination final, the winner will play the loser of the other game today at Anzac Park, the big clash, Lindisfarne taking on Huonville. And Dodgers Ferry with the week off because they finished on top of the ladder. Is that a high tackle on Burgess? Yes, the umpire taps his left shoulder. And Burgess will have a shot late in this quarter. He's going to play on. It's a clever play on. It's a good contest there. Just coming through at the end was Eisel. Eisel, the other righty by Nathan, just hacks it out, but it might come back again. Climbing up high, pulling that one down. Bierman, wonderful work from him. That was a terrific mark.
He's a great player, Bierman. I think he's only 17 years old, but he's kicked straight in the man on the mark.
He played in the rep game, didn't he, early in the year?
Yep. Out to Livingston. Livingston gets his kick away just, but it's chopped off nicely by Geordie Eisel. He moves the ball quickly out towards the old man down there in Slater. He gets it on. I'm saying old because he's got a few greys in the salt and pepper. Banks Smith gets it back to Slater. Banks Smith gets it back again. Just shrugs the Palmer tackle quickly, but it's going to be marked nicely by George O'Neill.
George O'Neill off half-back, kicks to the middle. Pat kicked a couple of goals, now in defence. He wants to play and get onto that right foot of his. He just steadied. Cato leading out his man. Turns. Didn't make contact. It's fortuitous so. Now Payton again. He's got 3 to beat. Throws it out to Cato. Couldn't quite find him. Push and shove off the ball. Peter O'Neill. Kick goes up forward. One down here. Chaplin goes one way. In fact, I should say that's Lovell. He's had a bit of the ball, but no real opportunities to score a goal. George O'Neill, half back, but just missing his target. And a frustrating quarter, I imagine, for both forward lines.
Both teams, I reckon, will be frustrated. There's been a lot of turnover in this area of the ground, just kick to kick from half forward to half forward. And that's a good, strong mark to George O'Neill.
I wonder if a team who had a bit more structure would just maybe maintain possession laterally across the ground instead of just continually kicking the ball to even a one-on-one contest because they're not working.
Cato brings the ball up to Cohen. who sends one high to half forward. Livingston's in the right area, got held off the footy. Umpire missed it. Quick kick away. That might have been Zeke Slater. Oh no, this is Slater right here, I beg your pardon.
Might have been Chaplin.
Yeah, Chaplin had got it. Quick kick forward down towards County. Now this guy's elusive as he slipped over. Couldn't quite get the ball away towards his teammate down there in Geordie Eisel. He's caught one high from the big man down there.
It was interesting with Jordan Eisel because he actually decided to go in with his feet first then. I think he had an opportunity to actually go in, scoop it up and get a handball out because he had a player just on behind him and they were away then. They're the sort of situations where you can get a goal on a turnover. That is quarter time. There's a couple little kids come onto the ground and it is an early start here for Cygnet. They've got the early lead, 3-goal advantage, or 17 points. Barry Hall with 1 and Patton of the Luke. He kicked 2 tubes, set shots.
Yeah, he had a couple, and I think that Coach Ben Cato will be relatively happy with that against the Breeze. But still, a pretty scrappy contest all the same, Peach. Not a lot of smooth ball use. They know that it's next week. There's hit the showers after this.
Yeah, look, my observations at the moment is New Norfolk want to try and both teams a little bit. Norfolk are trying to compress and control the stoppages and get the ball out the back quickly to Parker. What at the moment, though, is Parker, the kicks coming into the half-forward line are being chopped off over and over again by the defence of Cygnet. On the flip side, Cygnet certainly had more of the possession, more of the ball. They were controlling the stoppages on the far side away from us. However, their kicks weren't any better. And they were, because of that compression, they were really rushed with their deliveries into that sort of forward 50.
Yeah, I think the Jackson Gordon and Kane Nielsen down back for Cygnet have been really good. Cody Morgan just doing what he wants across half-back for the Eagles. But we'll take a quick break here. We're going to try and get down to the quarter-time huddle and try and get some sound in from the Cygnet huddle at quarter-time from Coach Ben Cato. Repeating, it is a 17-point margin in favour of the Port here in the elimination final for the SFL here between the Cygnet Port and the New Norfolk Eagles. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stick around here on Duff TV. Yep.
I'm starting off. Just have one, and then 50, and then another. In tight, come on. We'll pick the first one off, let's get the second one. Little battles.
Great quarter footy, all right? Fantastic. Best one we played all year. Didn't get the reward on the scoreboard yet, but it's the first quarter. It's always going to be hot, and we controlled the game. Contest around the footy, fantastic. Pressure was fantastic. Just against the Breeze, if we had the 3 targets up there, one's got to come up. Joe, you're just got to start a bit closer, all right? Daly's coming from the wing and giving them extra number there. That's fine. We're winning the contest. We've got 2v1, especially with 3 targets. Get some space between ourselves. When we get that contest, then we've got numbers for the fall of the ball. That's the only thing that hurt us. We played forward footy. That's what we wanted to, though. Against the Breeze, fantastic effort. Just come on, Sammy. Paddy, just start in the back pocket because Blue's just going to come on when wind comes. Fantastic, mate. That's what we expect. Got up, took your kick, fantastic. Flew the flag, really good, didn't give anything away. Keep that up, all right?
Good boys.
Good start, mate. As I said, just watch that dive on the footy. Just keep your feet as much as you can, but really good in the contest. Ball's hitting the ground, that's what we like. Doug's good. Pasty, CP, fantastic again, mate. Mitch.
Good, Mitchy.
We're only getting beaten when we're just trailing behind. That's a back six. Good start every time. Let's read the play. Let's get the footy. Get forward footy. Chicken, good, Pete. Scuddy, Cheese, Holtz and Deadrock. As I said, good start. But that's 1 quarter out of 3, or out of 4. We've got 3 more to go. This really sets it up. With the breeze, if we can get that footy forward and lock it in, we'll get the scoreboard pressure this quarter, all right? Pippi good, myself, Lukey, Toby, Joe, as I said, just not so much this quarter, but against the breeze, we've got to come up just a little bit, give Barry the space in behind. Georgie, good start, just a blow, JB, Burjo, Bluey, all played your part. 22, we tick this quarter off now. Let's get out. Come on, let's go!
Wow, it's fired up. We'll head back to the studio. Well, second quarter about to get underway down here at the Port in Cygnet. And there he is, Big Barry Hall. Coach Ben Cato obviously really happy with the charges there at the quarter time.
Yeah, he spoke more to the individual players and what they were doing well. He did mention that this is only 1 of 4 quarters, so he did say 1 of 3 initially, but he quickly realised there's 4, so his maths is okay. He did mention 1. He just said to Dyrene just to get, when he's in defence, particularly when they're kicking with that or into the breeze, come a bit further forward to give more space for Barry Hall. That's certainly something I've noticed. Norfolk will counter that though. They're a very good strategic team and they'll make some changes if he does do that.
Quick kick forward by Norfolk, goes to Daly. Daly now with a chance to get on the board with a big goal. Beautiful stuff from Jacob Daly. Took the responsibility on himself, and that's exactly what Joshy Clifford wanted from his charges going into the second term, Peach.
What a wonderful start for Norfolk, and they need it. They are a team which can get some confidence very quickly. They're obviously a team that's won a bunch of premierships. Not a lot of players here probably won a grand final. A few of the Isles and certainly Hill and Burgess and a few others. But look at this on the replay. Right on 50. A little bit of shepherding on the goal line. But easily made the distance. So Norfolk on the board here in the elimination final, courtesy of a running goal from Jacob Daly. So back in the middle.
Ruck contest by Schuth. One down, who's wearing the number 41 now. Livingston gets his hands on the footy. Quick kick around the corner. Down towards Cohen and Co. Bouncing ball over the back now. A chance for Joey Dyrene. He got his hands on the footy and then sold some candy. Had a runner in Livingston who just couldn't get his hands on the hot tamale. Out it comes for Tangata and it goes forward again by the Eagles. Just rolled through the fingertips of a few players. Now a chance over the back here. Holton gets a hold of it. He looks for his mate down there, Jennings. Couldn't quite get it. County on hands and knees. Got his handball only as far as his mate's fingertips. And we'll see another ball up right in front of us here in the commentary position.
Cato did also mention, I think one of the players, they use mostly nicknames. Stay on your feet, don't go to ground too quickly. Just try counting that occasion. he decided to go to ground. We've seen that just a few times, the players opting to go onto their knees to try and win the football while the other player's standing up. Just makes you a bit of a target for a tackle, and can't get that handball out. Palmer does get the handball out to Holton. Holton misses it. Norfolk turn it over. They kick it up to half forward. One-on-one contact. Burgess wins it. Goes to the fingers of Jennings. Tackle late. Maybe pushing it back by Reece Jennings, the defender for the Port, but no, it's not. And we'll have a ball up. Bit of a push, bit of a shove. And I can tell you what, Josh Clifford loves a chat on the football field, and he just copped a little push, and then he goes, where's the free kick? He wasn't going to get it. Lovell, the man who just kicked a goal, Daly, screws around by Eisel, into the forward line, looking for Parker.
Oh, he's a freak. I love watching him play footy.
Look at the eyes of Parker. We'll zoom in a close Martin Duffy, and he'll go back and will kick this goal. So his first opportunity, Marcus Parker, and 2 goals in the first 3 minutes.
Well, there's not much a defender can do in that regard.
Well, you got to be side on, don't you? Because he just used his buttocks and held the space where the ball was landing, but also he judged the ball better. So Parker directly in front. No problems for Marcus Parker, no problems for New Norfolk, and it's getting back to level pegging here in this elimination final in the SFL 2019 season. You're on Duff TV.
Yeah, elimination final, and I think Livingston copped a hard knock there just in that contest. He's okay, he's up and about, but gee, that's a strong mark from Marcus Parker.
And that's the first kick Parker's had to his advantage, either to the left or the right into some space on that occasion. It was just in front of him. 9 goals.
He's smart.
And there's quite a few good goal kickers in this competition. And Marcus Parker's been one of the leading goal kickers in Southern Football League footy over many years. County. Sorry, mate. You go. We haven't done a game since the Sardis Grand Final. I think it was about 6 weeks ago.
Yep, it's a free kick going to Foster for the Eagles. He takes it through the centre of the ground. Quick kick forward, looking in the direction, and that's almost marked down there to Lovell. He can't get it. He goes back and grabs his own footy. Handballs off to Foster. Foster with a kick around the corner. That works out okay. Finds Bierman. Bierman plays on quickly and sends one down towards County, who takes a nice contested grab.
He won't have a shot here. Well, he might have a shot here, County. I don't know. His set shots are his thing.
He's a good kick, but he's going to have to run down the hill here.
He'll get some momentum running off the bank.
And he comes on the right side for his left foot. So doesn't have the journey, and a nice mark taken by Duggan. Duggan, a Dower defender, kicks it out towards a teammate. And Gordon couldn't quite get a hold of it.
It's a free kick off the ball here. Yeah, it's a free kick.
Not sure who it's going to.
Yeah, it's a free kick to Dance. He was held off the ball. It's a Dance now for the Port. Kicks it up to half forward. Trying to run through there and get that one as Doreen by the look of it. Out of bounds. So, a fortunate free kick. And we'll just see a little hold here. There it is.
Oh, yep. Well,
he's just blocked and held off it on his left shoulder. So throw up here, just attacking side for the Eagles. 2 teams that have had a really close and tough year. Off the ground goes Palmer. He's got a player coming out to meet him. That's neat. Patton dishes it off. Finds Cowan running. Barry Hall. One way. Turns around. Barry Hall onto his right. Screws it around. Has he done enough? No. Says the umpire. He actually ran quite away from goal then, Barry Hall. But he's good at that. Throughout his AFL career, how many 700+ goals? He kicked a lot like that, didn't he?
He certainly did. And I'll tell you what, Rowan Heron's holding his own against Big Barry.
He looks really good when it's a one-on-one contest, but as soon as the ball hits the ground, Barry Hall looks excellent.
Yeah, he does. Out the ball goes for County. Onto that left foot. That's a bit of journey. Finds a man in Lovell who plays on immediately to his running Eagle. Again, it bounces into the arms of Thompson, who goes quickly down towards Parker, but that kicks Rancid out of bounds on the full.
The running Eagle. Is that an oxymoron? Here we're going to see this replay from Barry Hall. So as soon as hit the ground, Heron just doesn't have the first couple of steps, and even though Hall is a few years the elder, he's just able to control that when he gets on the ground. So this is what they really want, is to get the ball running off half back. But that kick is gone to Bierman. Now there's a bit of push and shove. Once again, Jake Dance trying to get rid of the tagger. And he probably deserved a free kick that's still going out as Cody Morgan on him at the moment. And he doesn't, or I should say, not enjoying that close contest.
No.
Holt, right foot to the middle. It's not a bad one. Is that a little push out? Looked like a little tunnel ball. Farrow, he tries to win it. Nearly a throw by Farrow. Dance wins it. Clever kick by Dance. Holt comes out.
Oh, just lost it in the sun
he
there.
Definitely did lose it. Herring goes back. Hall will let him pick that one up. Heron handballs out, but then he's forced a quick kick around by Tangata. Cruising around is Burgess. In fact, that's not Burgess, it's Hills. Hills dances one way, then he gets his kick away. That's yeah, really good. Finds Foster. Foster stops, then decides to chip further afield. He's looking for Eisel. He couldn't get it. Man on the ground's going to be there first. Eisel still might get this one back again. And Barry Hall definitely had that one right into the sun. He needed the sunnies on the visor, the golf visor. He would have been fine.
More into the sunlight there as the ruck contest. Nicely Schuth gets it down to Hulton. He sends a quick kick forward. It's all New Norfolk here as Doreen comes long from the top. That's a great strong mark for Joey Doreen. Looks towards Barry Hall. Down in that area. This one's better for Barry. Beautiful kick. Just magnificent stuff. A great contested mark by Joey Doreen, and then just to pop it up in front of Barry, who will go back from, he'll kick it from about 50, right on the 50-metre mark. I'm not sure how long it is down here.
Yeah, there's a decent gap. It might be like 47.5. I can tell you what, though, they look better when they get a bit of run going and a bit of space. They look really dangerous, but Norfolk have lifted as well. Barry Hall from 45 metres. Kick is going left. And in fact, it's stopped. And maybe that wind has just flicked around as well.
You're right, Peach. The Port do look really good when they get a bit of space, but don't understate that contested grab. They were outnumbered, Cygnet, 2-3 in that contest that Joey Doreen took that mark. So a good contested grab will certainly help your footy side play some beautiful football. As the handball comes up from Hulton, attacking on the footy. Hulton again stays strong in the contest. And we'll see a ball up on the 50-metre line.
Is Hulton maybe playing he's nearly playing on the ball at the moment. He's on half back a minute ago and even playing a nearly traditional centre role. And there is a lot of attention being shown by some of the grafting defenders for New Norfolk. It's kicked into some space. The first player to make that ball was Thompson. He tried to dish it out with hands, but now it's gone towards Livingston. Onto his left boot. It's a good kick. It's gone towards the fingertips of Patton. He then has a man coming over the wall as Tangata applies pressure. Now it's on the Dance. Dance on his left boot. Looks for Hall in the pocket. Hall grabs it onto his big chest. And then just tells his opposition player, and looks like Daly, yeah, I've got the footy, mate, and you've now got to give it back to me.
This is a good grab. There's nothing in that. It's just a contest. And
yeah, it was a bit of a laugh, wasn't it? There you go. You can have it back. He didn't want it. I don't want it. I don't know. What are you talking about? Jacob Daly did come up smiling. It's all fun and games here. The crowd are into it. We're into it. Barry Hall is going to kick potentially his second. He's in kicking range. And he makes no doubt about that. Barry Hall with a smile on his face. Here at Cygnet. He dobs the sausage roll. He's got 2.
Well, how good is it to have a champion of the game like Barry Hall playing? I mean, credit to New Norfolk. They don't care. They don't care. They're not worried by Barry Hall playing down out of the forward pocket or out of a full forward position.
But once again, it was the tubes. It was a turnover, quick ball movement, a flow. Yeah. This is a game style. This is why Cygnet, I think, are a team that can go deeper into the finals. Yeah. However, they haven't been able to manage to do that for the whole game. Yeah. And once again, in Norfolk, a really good strategic team. They will make some alterations to ensure that they stop this run of Cygnet. Yep,
out it comes now. Clifford's moved himself into the middle, like that move. Nicely picked up by Bank Smith, got the handball back towards his teammate. Daly.
Someone in the crowd yelled out, no way. Yeah, I think it was okay, though.
Yep, out it comes now for Thompson, who sends it low, finds his man in Hills. Hills spins around quickly, up towards Lovell. Couldn't quite get it. Now a chance over the back. Here they go. Great tackle, chase down, and a kick goes across the face of goal for behind.
Yeah, you're right. It was really good defensive work to put a little bit of pressure on the player running in towards goal. So chip kick out. It's just going to go over the top. Cato now wearing number 24. He had his previous number ripped off him. Somehow that ball stays inside the field of play. Now they've got an opportunity here in Norfolk because there's a player free. Just went over the time of Nathan Isle. Burgess in there. Bierman goes past him. Quick kick out by Livingston. It's the rush kick, and that means it's easily chipped off by Slater. Slater onto his left. That's okay. Quickly kick forward here by Wigg. Parker.
Well, how good does he look when he's got area to run into at the footy like that?
But how good is it watching Parker and Hall do the game? They're playing it differently to very competent footballers kicking goals at both ends, and they both have really good set shots too.
They certainly do. He he looks so dangerous, Marcus Parker. Every time the footy goes near him, and we talk about him pretty regularly on Duff TV, he's a freak. Anyway, in he comes, in the best way, of course, Marcus.
Yeah, I reckon he's missed that.
Yes,
Ouch.
he has.
I take that back about his good kick. No, he generally is an excellent shot on goal. In the rep game when we saw Parker, and he had like a 10 minutes of purple patch, he actually missed a few goals on that day, and it really hurt them in the end.
I just think back to the 2017 grand final where he kicked that goal.
He was only a metre out though,
No,
but it was a beauty. But he knew where the ball was going. He could rove the pack. He's fantastic when the ball hits the ground at being able to judge where it's going to bounce. Doesn't always bounce the way you want this oval ball. Cygnet, let's see if they can get the bounce going back. It's just gone over the top. Heels, tight. He gets a quick kick away from Dance. One-on-one contest. Trying to work to the front.
County.
That was excellent from County because he's got a really competent defender in Jackson Gordon, who I rate last year at this same game, but it was the last game of the year. Gordon had a ripper. He's a talented young athlete, but that is just fabulous from County. And that is an improvement in his game, his ability to mark the ball.
This is where...
He's a left footer though,
he's
isn't he? It's going to be tough.
So he needs to just hang it out here to the left post because the breeze is going across his body.
Look at the old scoreboard there. It's weird, isn't it? That looks like it's going across the face. In fact, it's still in play. It's going to be punched out there by Duggan. A lot of Cygnet players around the ball, and that's a really good win for New Norfolk. It was 3v1, and they've held it up.
So a ball up, in the forward pocket for the Eagles. It's won by the Port. On hands and knees, nice work by Bierman to lock it in. And we'll see another ball up. So 4-1-25, the Port. The Eagles 2-3-15, 10 points the margin. Parker over the back of his head. Duggan handballed up nicely, finds his man in O'Neill, and that one's gone out of bounds. We'll see another boundary throw-in.
Well, I've been really happy with the weather. There was a chance for some showers, just a couple of drops of rain. We might get Gero on the pots and pans to see the rain radar in a minute. A lot of players are going to negotiate this throw up. Parker gets his hand to it, just got a disposal. Bierman, he's got to try and eke his way out of 2 or 3 defenders, and one who did not let go is George O'Neill. And a ball up. There's around, was it 20 players around the ball at the moment?
Spent a good part of 20 minutes down here.
There we go. So it's all blowing below us at the moment. Just around there, the bottom of Cape Bruni. Quick kick out by Palmer. It's worked for now. Up to centre wing. Good contest in here. Love a one-on-one contest. Tapped in front, O'Neill. Great contest here. Trying to get there is Eisel. Tapped further in front by Patton. Patton goes back. He might get the handball here, Patton. Still trying to win the football. Now, Patton worked that ball around 70 metres then without actually having a disposal. Excellent work by him. And they've gone forward for the first time for about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, I like that work. And as you say, just moved it up there easily too. The poor boundary umpire had
he was a long way behind.
400 metres to run there, the poor little bugger. Anyway, he's got it. Boundary thrown right on the forward 50 for the Port. Doreen up against Burgess. That was a tackle without it, so Hills will take the free kick.
It's the other way.
Oh, well.
I think, was there a throw in there maybe?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Palmer might have been held off the footy. Anyway.
This is where Palmer's got to be smart. Maybe that kick's okay. At the back of the pack here. Barry Hall.
He's just thrown.
I watched him for about 15 seconds in. You could see him like moving up, trying to work the dodgem car routine. Not one defender for New Norfolk looked at him. Not one of them. Maybe they're scared of him.
I would be, as Barry Hall kicks his third. And they love him down here at the Port. The sirens go nuts. And Barry Hall kicks his third, and that extends the margin out to 16 points, Pete.
Yeah, we might see it on the replay. Barry Hall, here he is, no contact, not one player. So Josh Farrow, he's a good young defender, got lost in that contest. Barry Hall had his eyes on the football the whole time, and it was just a fraction too easy in the end, and just wandered in and kicked it. So a goal against the run of play, because in Norfolk were building. Marcus Parker missed one at one end. We've actually had 11-point turnaround from that occasion. Yep,
ruck contest one down again, but this time it was one down by Brereton. The kick came out towards that centre wing position. New Norfolk lead the race. Tyson Easel's out there. Scooped up and almost thrown away. Now the Eagles look okay as they move the ball forward. Who's down there for the Eagles? Great defensive work again. Duggan got his handball out. Quick kick forward there by Schuth. There might have been, no, it wasn't Schuth at all. He's off the ground at the moment. Quick tap on nicely by Dance. Ran over the top of the footy, did Thompson, but it's going back there nicely, Morgan. He gets his handball out, finds Hills. Hills again up towards Eisel. That's Nathan Eisel sending a worm burner down inside the forward 50. Good punch away. Duggan gets hold of the footy and Clifford tackles him and just puts his hands up. And Duggan.
Cheeky then, Clifford. Was it rascal behaviour, I think he'd call it. Parker loves being in the ruck contest here. He'll try and grab it out of the pack. No, he actually tries to punch that one away. Spinning out of that tackle was Nilsson. Then he gets a handball away. Just waiting that one. Bit of run. Patton onto his right boot. Goes to further field. I reckon he was trying to get Jake Danson. A little inaccurate and is chipped off here by Thompson. Thompson with his hands. One-on-one contest. Parker from the back. Juggles it. Marks it. Goes to ground. And I think that is a mark. Yep, the umpire tapped his left thigh, indicating he's taken a mark. Next mate has to run past, and this is within range. Great mark. Again, contested grabs of the footy in this type of game today, Peach, make all the difference. Again, he was outnumbered 2-1, but a contested grab makes all the difference. Now he's got a shot on goal. Tough angle, tough distance. And the wind probably playing a bit of a swirly factor going across him at the moment. I don't reckon he's got... Yeah, that might have snuck in. Wow. Right, wow. Marcus Parker with his second incredible goal from a tough pocket margin back to 10 points. So Marcus Parker misses one directly in front from 20 and kicks one tight on the boundary from 50. The psychology of that and his kicking style looked a lot better. And as he stabbed it last one, as you see on the replay, the quality mark, a little bit of an iffy finish, but he certainly looked like he controlled it. Had no issue with that. Let's see the set shot here from Marcus Parker. Wonderful technique, such a great drop of the ball, such great control, and a fantastic goal from the staff in Norfolk. 19 minutes gone in the second term, that 10-point margin. I reckon the wind's just picking up again. It's going maybe to the left of the screen, so Norfolk might have the breeze. Out it comes, a nice attack on it there by your man, Lovell. Couldn't quite get a hold of it. Scooped it out again. Lovell trying hard. Big tackle laid on Mitchell Dyreen. And the umpire's called a ball up. So we've got Nathan Eisel around the ball at the moment. We've got Burgess in the ruck. As tapped in. Eisel's the one right on cue. Just got his kick away. Burgess dragged down. And that was a Duggan tackle. There's a lot of Duggans in this part of the world, and they're playing up against a lot of Eisels. Maybe we can have a scratch match. The Duggans versus the Eisel. The battle of the families. Nice worked over the back by Burgess. No one running there for him, but it's come out for the Port. Gordon got his kick away, and this one will roll out of bounds in front of Joshy Clifford. So boundary throwing on half forward for the Eagles. Ruck contest, Burgess worked his man under the footy, got his double fist punch away to Joshy Hills. Hills from a tough spot up to the top of the square, and a nice mark by Duggan. He's a good defender, Duggan, really reliable. We don't like to use the word Dow, he's a bit better than Dower. It's a clearing kick, it's just dropped out of the fingertips of Peter O'Neill. Is that kick okay? Just needed another metre. It's been chipped off here by Wigg. Wigg goes short to Parker. What's he doing? That's because he ran away, because a moment ago Duggan got the kick away. Didn't follow him. It was pressure on the kick from Parker that caused that turnover. If we can go back and have a look at that turnover, Peach, we will probably see that Marcus Parker putting pressure there. Yep. On that kick. Yeah, you're right. And it should have been an easy mark for Brereton, but we've got Parker in the pocket. Kick one from here, closer, moments ago. That's a goal. Wow. Marcus Parker by himself is dragging Norfolk back into this contest in this elimination final here at Cygnet. 4 points the margin here in the, as you said, Peach, Cygnet up by 4. They lead. And Marcus Parker has kicked 3 in this term. Visually the game's improved, hasn't it? Oh, it's beautiful. And isn't it great to have an old shootout, the OK Corral, here in southern Tassie. This is the southernmost football club in Australia. Is it? Well, senior football club. Okay. They got their link to the commanding team, the juniors in the Southern Storm. The southernmost football team in Tasmania. Obviously, years ago, there was a team at Dover. There's might have been a team down at Doon Airwalk maybe years ago. So we've got a quick ball movement out here. Into the forward line. Burgess with a handball. Knocked out towards Eisel. chipped off here. And Andrew Palmer will have it. Is that 50 metres then?
No.
Palmer has it. Always a good user. Just see the wind just taking it. So the wind's changed direction, as I mentioned. It's going towards the left-hand side of the screen as the southerly comes in. And it's impacting on the kick as Brereton ran out. And it is easily chipped off here and it's probably picked up and dropped. It's dropped a couple of degrees, I'd suggest, as Mrs. Duffy had to take Mr. Duffy a jacket up into the top of the van. And Palmer on his bottom there, and he'll have a ball up.
So, as Peach said, the breeze has certainly changed direction. It was formerly going to the right of screen, now probably going directly across the ground. Holton got his kick forward, couldn't quite take the mark down there. Thompson through with strength, got his handball backwards towards his mate Daly, who left it behind. Cato with a quick kick, but it's going against Barry Hall's direction.
He had more time than Cato, just tried to get it forward, didn't he? But Barry Hall was fine. So Dry County all by himself. He's got to play to handball over, and he does. It's not bad. Foster, one-on-one contest. Burgess climbing up was Parker. Burgess again. He's knocked to the ground. In fact, that's Lovell, I should say. Lovell's tackled by 2. And those 2 defenders from the Port hold him up. So great contest here. We have the close one. And we'll have a look at the score for the Lindisfarne game with Dodgers Ferry waiting.
Doreen threw hard at the footy. Quick kick around the corner from Wigg. Down at the bottom of the pack, here he is, Heron, who's gone from front to back, back to front, but he's caught holding the footy.
Inside out, upside down.
So the free kick will go the way of the Port. Great tackle laid by Jackson Gordon.
But we got some comments coming through our Facebook feed at the moment.
No, someone, Mrs. Duffy thinks Ben Holton from Cygnet's good looking. So
He is a bit of a spunk, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Trouble here for the Port. Spinning out of trouble, Mitchell Dyreen. Handball from Parker over to Parker. Marcus Parker's kick 4 1/4.
Momentum's turn as the wind has changed direction, as has the fortunes of Cygnet. They now have lost the lead for the first time in the match. And it's taken to the 25-minute mark nearly. And to see the little sneaky handball over the top by Lovell. Parker all by himself. And where was the play?
Well,
his defenders nowhere near him.
It started there with the coach, Joshy Clifford, and that tackle.
You mentioned get Joshy Clifford on the ball.
I love watching him play footy, but I tell you what, that tackle and the pressure inside your own forward 50 is worth every penny, and that's why Marcus Parker's kicked his 4th goal, because of that tackle from Clifford.
Really struggling to get a bit of run. They've got their better players around the ball at the moment.
Holton's going to get a free kick.
Yeah, so Holton, is he going to get the advantage? No. So Duggan's on the ball of Nathan, variety. Palmer on the ball as well. You can hear the wind through the effects mic. In the middle is the cute and competent play. Hole runs out, takes a mark on his right chest.
Well,
and now that's an example. He had 3 defenders to beat, but the ball was kicked into space. In the first quarter, that space wasn't there.
And Peach, no man in his right mind.
Or woman.
Well, there's only men playing this game, but no man for New Norfolk in his right mind is going to sit in front of Barry Hall coming out at 100 miles an hour, is he?
No, Barry Hall from 40 metres. Kick is fantastic. It just floats late. It's a behind. So that would have been a good response from there. Ring-in. Well, he's not a ring-in. He's a local boy now. He'll probably buy property here in Cygnet, won't he? Maybe open up a little vegan lounge on the main street of Cygnet. Joe County comes out. He gets it onto his left boot. Clever from him. He's had a good game so far, County. Now there's 1-on-2. In the end, it wasn't a good kick. It's going to be turned over here. Dance with some run. Looks for Hall. Kicks the ball up to the forward 50. Climb up the back. Just dropped short. That kick just needed to be a fraction longer, and it wasn't. And the wind impacting on it. And New Norfolk defence have it.
Out it comes, finding Banks-Smith. So Jordan Banks-Smith from the half-back line. Looks to send it long towards Lovell. Flying high, great contest. And people are hurt. Gee, that's courageous stuff.
You can hear the contact, couldn't you? Yeah, they're sucking some oxygen back in is Corey Polly, as he was in a significant contest. It's right in front of the lovely Duff van with the windows on it now. And we can see what's going on. And Schutz gets his hand in, goes past Palmer. Neat little hand out by Jordan Eisel. New Norfolk go forward, but there's 3 players to get past here. One of those taken on his chest is Nilsson. Nilsson looks, waits, holds. the football. He decides just to kind of pop it up in the air. I'm not sure if that's the right option. Nearly marked by Holt. Then he gets dragged to the ground by Banks Smith. Banks Smith gives him a cuddle, and we'll have a throw.
Ball up at centre wing. County up against Schuth. Schuth wins it down, but only as far as that man for the Eagles in Hills. Hills gets his kick forward, down towards Rowan Heron, who just has a 1-2. But he gets his handball off nicely. It's Geordie Eisel that got the kick forward, and now the Port can raffle it. Bring it out through Bluey Duggan. His kick up towards the wing, picked up by Foster. Tackled hard there was Banks Smith, and we'll see a ball up.
I feel like every time Foster gets the football, they enjoy tackling him, Cygnet. He's necessarily the fastest of players, but he generally covers the ground. Aerobic capacity not too bad. Now he's just on his haunches in front of us. County in the ruck. He gets his left hand to the ball. Nearly popped out the side towards Banks Smith. It didn't quite get to him. Now it's picked up by Jennings for the Port. Kicks to the middle. Is there a little push on the back of Livingston? Goes back again, Livingston. Couldn't quite grab it. Some run from Daly. Daly gets the ball out further afield. Finds the hands of Walsh. Walsh looks up. Awkward looking kicking style. It's not bad. Parker in front. Couldn't quite mark the football. Defenders will need to come back. Trying to scoop it up into his hands. Duggan goes in. Spins out. Tells him to get running further forward and decides to kick it to Payton. Payton will catch it on the boundary line, just inside. Tries to dance around Banks Smith. And Bluey Duggan now kicks it out, but County's in the box seat. Souk, that's a big contest, and that is the noise of the siren. Half time, what a beauty here at Cygnet. It's a point in it. Norfolk lead, and they've only led for about 5 minutes. It's been Barry Hall versus Marcus Parker.
Well, how about that courage going back with a flight from George O'Neill? Gee. I beg your pardon, it was Schuth that went back with a flight. Georgie O'Neill got absolutely annihilated by a teammate out there.
Yeah,
goal kickers for the Port, 3 to Barry Hall, 2 to Luke Patton. And then for the Eagles, all 5 of their goals coming in that term, Peach. 4 to Marcus Parker and 1 to Jacob Daly. And as you say, Cygnet 5-2, 32, trail New Norfolk 5-3, 33. 1 point the margin. We must, of course, thank the Cygnet Hotel, the top pub, Tom Moore and Son for your B&D roller needs. Elite Painters for all your Taz construction needs. Go and see TazCon. Huon Valley Community Bank. Southern Smash Repairs if you've got a ding in your beloved vehicle. And then Clennett's Mitre 10. They're mighty helpful up there at the Trade Centre at the fork in the road. We'll take a quick break here at half-time. Repeating the margin, just the 1 point between New Norfolk and Cygnet here in the SFL Elimination Final. All right, we're joined out here by the president of the Cygnet Footy Club, Dave O'Neill. Classically Cygnet, mate. It's chilled off a bit here, mate. And you're in a t-shirt.
A bit of a southerly change, but it was warmer early on, so yeah, I'll change to a coat later on.
Mate, you must be stoked with the response to having Barry Hall at your footy club.
Oh, mate, it's been a great coup for us, and it was something that we talked a lot about, and sort of the first game was the players chucked in to make that work, and it was to make it financially safe, and from then on it just all fell into place. Yeah, it's a bit of a dream, but it's so far it's every week's we've done what we have to do.
Yeah, and the response from the community, mate, has been great. There's a huge amount of people here at this game of footy.
Well, the initial game of when Barry came down the first time, the community was really stoked about it. There was 200 kids on the ground at half time, and he was out there signing signatures and kicking the ball to them. So the community is really excited about it. We've got a very young senior team. Over half of our senior team is under 20 years of age. So it's a great experience for those young blokes and our old blokes as well. So our community and our kids are really on board.
So the club is looking pretty strong as far as future goes. I mean, it's hard to retain these players and things like that, but having a lot of young players here, we've seen it today, and there's some skilled players.
We're extremely lucky that I don't know, 8 years ago, Southern Storm formed, joined Commandy and Cygnet, and give us a base of kids feeding into our club. This club is so remote and so small. We need to have our own homegrown players, and for that we need to dig into Commandy and now Channel as well, who are clubs that have gone into recess, and for us to survive, we need those clubs on board.
And as far as the game goes today, mate, you're a point up. How have you seen the game so far?
I thought we started well into the wind. I don't know, I'm a bit of a sailor, so I think the wind changed in the second quarter rules, so I think we've been into the wind for 2 quarters, but obviously it's going to be a hard fight, mate. The Norfolk Football Club's very proud, and that they are going to lay down, and if we're going to win, we're going to have to take it away from them, but they ain't going to give it to us. Yeah.
Well, all the best today, Dave, and mate, I know how hard it is to be a president of a footy club. You're a champion of this club, mate, and congratulations on what you've done all this year, and all the best for the finals. Hopefully, today's game.
Okay. Yep. Today's game, we'll do the best. It's going to be a fight to the end.
Good on you. Dave O'Neill there, folks. All right, we'll head back to the footy now. Some highlights from the first half.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Well done.
Speaking, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Jesse, right? Yeah, Jesse, there's cameras.
Give a fuck. You know what? The cameras! Well, Jack, you still kick it, mate. You're the...
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
What happened on TV?
Sally, kick it in!
I want to lay on him. I want to be part of it. Rolls off. Bring Sam. Come back, Tom. Oh, no.
Harry, it's off. Who's under it? Those back the same?
He's out. Watch out, I got him. Stop his ass! come as a coach, Mark.
Well, there they are, the Cygnet boys coming out for their second half. They are a point behind. We mentioned at half-time with Dave O'Neill that perhaps Cygnet were a point up. They're not, they're a point behind. My name is Tubes Taylor. Second half coming up here on Duff TV. I'm joined in the commentary box by Aaron Peachy Roberts. Peach, first half of that game was pretty scrappy, but got entertaining as the game freed up a little bit more.
Yeah, and probably what changed through that was really early on, the team actually have a lot of energy and ability to get to contest after contest, and generally what happens is that there's a little bit of fatigue set in, and that gives a bit more space. Players can't get to the contest. It also, there was some restructuring, and Dance, O'Neill, Palmer and a few others started to get a little bit of the ball for Cygnet, turned it over, ran with it, found Hall on a couple of occasions. But then the flip side happened. Josh Clifford and co started to turn and got it. But we know the game's going to be close because there's the scores for the last couple of games. So really tight at Snug Park.
Snug?
Yep. So they get, I think, one game a year.
Yep.
And they also, they may look at playing a game certainly down at Commandy as well.
Yep.
On home ground there with the Commandy having folded and also Snug having folds. They're trying to embrace the regional area that they represent, Cygnet.
Yep.
They are a team that won some premierships around 15 years ago. They are a powerhouse of the old Southern Football League when it was a regional comp. Norfolk have been a powerhouse for over 15 years now.
Well, they've been a powerhouse club for
since
decades.
Since early 2000s.
Millennium.
Yeah, so they've had really, they know success. Cygnet haven't had a grand final appearance for some time now. I think about maybe 2008 or 9 round then. So they'll be desperate to try and get this one. But there's the ladder at the moment. Interesting game. Huonville versus Lindisfarne. An 8-point lead to Huonville at Anzac Park.
Wow.
They've kicked 5 goals in the second quarter to hit the front. They were down by a couple at quarter time. So they may have actually had a breeze advantage. I imagine it runs the same north-south ground there. And the breeze is probably even stronger there next to the River Derwent. So a lead by 8 points, Huonville, in the qualifying final at Anzac Park. So 2 ripping close games. What we have seen is a westerly now blowing across the ground here, maybe slightly favouring the left-hand side of the screen, which is where Barry Hall is. Imagine Joe Doreen and others will move further forward afield, give Barry some space. I'll be really intrigued at what New Norfolk do. Will they put a floater back in this quarter? Smart play might be that they do.
So, third term about to get underway here from Cygnet Oval. In Cygnet, it says on the screen there second term, but it isn't. It's the third term about to get underway as we fix that. Jerry on the pots and pans doing beautiful work. And that's the bench, as we can see, the Cygnet bench, a little Eagle supporter, probably just jumped on the bandwagon last year, no doubt. And we are away. County up against Schuth. Schuth wins it down, looking into the path. Dead Rock there, picks it up. That is, of course, Braden Livingston. He got it up. Easel gets his kick forward. Down towards Lovell, who worked to the front of the pack nicely. Lost his opponent very easily. There's a little bit of spits of rain start to come in. We might get Jerry onto the BOM website, so if we can get a rain radar up. So Lovell, he's a good kick of the footy. Just on his distance here, I would have thought. He's just decided to pop it up. Down towards Marcus Parker, who flew. Shoot, and that's quick kick off the ground. Clifford, incredible goal.
Well, everyone was looking at Marcus Parker, but no one was looking when the ball hit the ground. And the smile of Josh Clifford indicates a goal at the start of this quarter for New Norfolk, but it was the style of the goal. And let's see on the Move Food replay. Clifford just here at the front of the pack. There he is. Opportunist. Fabulous.
I can tell you right now, Joshy Clifford would be loving that. Hitting a half volley, hitting the volley through the goals. like some sort of EPL player.
Yeah, it was neat, wasn't it?
Brilliant stuff by Clifford. Anyway, back in the middle, County just sat it into his arms. Big tackle on Schuth by Eisel. Just fended off nicely, got his handball off to a running man in heels. Couldn't quite pick it up. He got his handball out looking for a teammate. Livingston gets his kick forward. Down towards Cato. Cato, clever, pops it up down towards Hall. Hall's in a dangerous position here. He can't quite get his hands on the footy. Pushed off the footy. Holton got his handball back. County now with a big tackle laid on Patton. He couldn't get it either. Threw hard there. That was great footy by the Eagles, who are outnumbered here, and they'll happily throw it up.
Yeah, a couple of good tackles late by Eisel and co. Tangata. A little tap of the foot from Barry Hall. Nearly got their hands towards Luke Patton, and he couldn't quite get it. Tackle laid by Livingston. Deadrock, there it is. There's the call. Do you know the origin of that nickname on Livingston?
No idea.
Maybe he works in the Duggan.
Livingstone,
yeah,
Deadrock.
Yeah.
That's exactly where it's from.
Bit of a play. So it's chipped out here. Duggan, Lovell, couldn't get it. Duggan works the ball around.
Great tackle.
Neat tackle by him. Now the ball's gone quickly forward. So Clifford should get to this ball first. In fact, it just stays in. So he decides to take it over the boundary line in front of Polly. And we'll have a throw up here. So a little bit of rain. It shouldn't be too much. Mrs. Duffy's got the umbrella out. She's put it over top of the camera just in front of us, which is pointed towards the brick interchange bench. Schuth with a handoff. Livingston, stack of the ball.
Oh, good mark.
That's a fabulous mark, climbing up. Jake Dance goes laterally, not a bad option. Cato, the captain coach, takes a mark in front of Tangata. Cato goes looking for Hall. Hall's easily pushed off that one. He just saunters back towards it. Doesn't need to put too much effort in. Tangata, still some pressure here. That's a clever little kick. It hasn't been released, so Palmer gets it out into a little bit of space, falling over as Patton. Patton goes back again and goes onto his knees and tries to win the football. Andrew Palmer tries to scoop it up. Morgan kicks it away. And finally, New Norfolk had their first clearing kick and released up to centre half forward.
Lovell tried hard in the contest, kept his feet nicely. Out it comes, quick kick around the corner by Wigg. Wigg down towards the coach in Clifford, couldn't quite get a hold of it. Spinning out of trouble down there, Kate Nielsen got tackled. And a great tackle on by Clifford.
Now where's Parker? Clifford won't have a shot, he'll set this up.
Oh, gee, projects the zone beautifully, and that's a great kick and goal by, I think it might be Wigg. I think that might be Jacob Wigg. It is. Goal. Jacob Wigg gets his first and extends that lead out now to 13 points.
So 2 goals from crumbing opportunities. What's to see on the move food replays. This tackle, yeah, don't mind that. Didn't dispose of the football. This is a good kick from Clifford. It's deep enough and into a spot which provided problems. And you can see Jacob Wigg on his left foot in amongst a stack of opposition and his own team, and managed to get a goal. So a couple of goals. Do Norfolk have the advantage of 13 points, and we're back in the middle. A couple of spots of rain. It won't influence the game. The rain is mostly south up as Schuth gets it out.
It'll just make that footy a little bit slippery.
Maybe Cato will get to it first. Tangata putting some pressure on him. Holt now reaches down. He's tackled by Eisel. Livingston on his left boot. Kicks it into the forward pocket. Barry Hall just a little bit behind in this at the moment. Joshy Farah has gone onto him, as I mentioned. Brereton, he kicks it out. Misses Cato, and it's going to be cleared away here by Daly. Daly's kicked out of bounds in the fall, so they're going to relaunch again. And the man who wants that is Verrill. So Verrill with the football. Let's see if there's some space in front of Barry Hall. He's pointing to the left pocket. Kicks it towards Holt, but it's chipped off here by Tangata, and that's disappointing, and Tangata lets Holt know all about it.
Quick kick comes out wide. Foster's down there. Foster just worked off the footy nicely down there by Verrill. Verrill handballed over the top to Livingston. He sends a worm burner down in the Direne direction. Quick kick off the ground. That one off the side of the boot. Boundary throwing.
It's losing their way a little bit here, Cygnet. They're not sure if to go short. They're probably playing a bit of a sort of a zone at the moment in Norfolk, and just eliminating that space as we've got a throw in. Schuth, County will contest the ruck again. Dance just at the edge of that one. The ball just drops short. Palmer trying to go in there. Now he goes to his knees, tries to win the football. Pressure from Daly. Holton gets tackled, passed the ball away like he was passing something to a school kid running past. And it's going to be a turnover here, holding the ball. Jai County kicks it further forward. That's a terrific mark taken Ben Lovell's had a great game. He's probably been the best half forward for both teams. Lovell goes up further. The kick just a bit awry. Joshy Hills couldn't get in the right spot. It's going to be marked here by the Cygnet defender.
O'Neill with a short kick, finding his man Verrill. Verrill at half-back, as pretty much wide as he can get onto the right-hand half-back as his kick goes long. Big fist away from Daly. Over the back, Slater happy to see it across in front of him and Holton.
The game's kind of changed again, Tube. So we had that scrappy first quarter, open up, and now it's more concise play. They're actually trying to hold possession, kick short. It's not working for Cygnet at the moment. I really think the play-on game for them is their most effective method.
Boundary throw-in. Schuth up against County. County wins it down, punched away nicely. Just got his head over the footy down there was Wig. Handball came up for the Eagles. Quick kick away out of bounds on the full free kick. Cygnet.
So second opportunity is Duggan will have the football. And Nathan, a youngster. He was in the map last year, wasn't he, young Nathan Duggan? He's going to go short. Now it's some run. This is what they need. Into the hands of Braden Livingston. Looking for Barry Hall. Punched away by Farrow. Great defensive work by him. Chaplin. Quick kick out now, defence. Wandering under this football is Foster. He had the player coming over the top of Duggan. Then he now wins the football once it hits the ground. And pulls across towards Jai County. Jai County looks up, kicks a one-on-one contest. Now that should be a free kick here. Definitely a free kick towards Polly. At no stage did Ben Lovell look at the football, and he wanted it more.
So Polly has it at half-back, has options short, decides against that, uses the left foot and kicks it out towards Holton. Just not enough on it for him. And we'll see a boundary thrown right in front of the interchange.
Even though it's been windy, Tubes, and obviously it's got a little darker, the kicking still, the field kicking has been poor for a lot of the day, hasn't it? It's missed a lot of targets.
Yeah, 100% boundary throwing. County and Schuth, a great contest all day. Tapped over the top, running through there nicely. It was Banks Smith trying to get his hands on the footy. Livingston's going to be first to the footy. He gets tackled hard and nicely by Geordie Eisel.
Had a good game, Jordan Eisel, a really good defensive runner.
Big shout out to Darnell Robinson Johnson. Hello to you, mate, watching the live stream. Darnell, good on you, mate. Yes, number 41 has been winning a lot of the hit-outs. That is Schuth, the ruckman, who's just won another one right on cue. Handballs, a couple of there. Out it comes for Livingston. He gets his kick forward. Holton and Dyreen. Dyreen went high. Holton went low. And that one by Jenny Palmer misses the mark out of bounds.
Joey Doreen, as he's got a little bit older and more confident, really hits the pack hard when he tries to mark the ball. It'd be really good as he is actually directly up forward, but he's got a good capacity to get to the contest. And he's taken a couple of contested marks, thumped into that pack. So Schuth again. Now decided to go up high and climb and try and punch it away, Jai County. Running handball going backwards is Thompson. Bit of pressure needs to be applied here, and Holt did that. Ball's knocked out to a little bit of space. Schuth tried to win it as Jacob Daly goes to ground. Dance gets pressured as he kicks that football. It's not too bad. Cato, the whistle has been called. I think it's a free kick here to the defender. No, Cato's got it. Might have been a push as he was going for the mark. Kicks out. Barry Hall, right pocket. Barry Hall's metatarsals are up around it. And he's got an opportunity to kick another one.
I wonder how Barry's going to pull up after this. He said to us before the game that he hasn't played back-to-back games of footy in about 10 years, so he looks pretty sore out there, Big Barry.
But he's getting in front, isn't he?
Yeah, and when he just protects the drop zone of the ball like that, who's going to stop him? I tell you what, Joshy Farrow's doing a good job down there.
He's been fantastic, Josh Farrow. He has the capacity to run and jump. Barry Hall from 30. They need to respond here, Cygnet. And he has. Big bustling Barry Hall responds for the Port and to get it back to 7 points.
Well, that's his fourth goal, and as we say, back to 7 points. He's doing lots of talking. That came in from the coach, Cato. So if the coach can't kick it to where Barry wants it, what hope have Cygnet got?
Well, that's the first time, though, Tubes, in this quarter, Barry's had space in front of him. On this side, on the non-attacking side of the ground, Norfolk could defend it really well. Farrow's now on him. He can be more athletic. So as soon as the ball's kicked high, Farrow can defend that. But when it's out in front, Holt is actually quick at 42. He can definitely get to that one.
Ruck contest down. County comes out with it, then gets two Cygnet Port players hot on his hammer. Quick kick forward by Holton. He gets it out wide towards Peter O'Neill, who spins around onto the wrong side, so he handballs off to a running man in Cohen. Cohen down towards Hall, big fist away from Farrow.
Yeah, see Barry Hall's pointing the finger. Get it in front of me, let me run onto it. As soon as it's above his head, Farrow can kill that one. So a good example of the two different deliveries into that forward 50 from the kick up. So throw in here. I've loved this ruck contest from these two. I think you're a big fan of Jai County. I like his athleticism. But I got to say...
Like his haircut.
Yeah, we're disappointed. Snap out of the pack. I don't think it's going to have the difference. Is that Livingston?
Yep. Braden Livingston. What an opportunistic type goal, and that's what the dead rock can do to you. The Livingstone dead rock.
It is flowing back and forth.
We worked it out pretty quickly, didn't we?
It is flowing back and forth at the moment. In Norfolk kicked 2 early goals, both crumbing goals, both quick ball movement into dangerous spots around 15 metres out from their goals. But then the running game, winning the ball out of the middle on that occasion, and a bit of turnover and run. They look really good when they move the ball quickly. They got stuck here on the defensive side for about 4 or 5 attacking forays from their half-back Cygnet. As soon as they get onto the attacking side and cross the play, such a better team, and their better players are getting onto it. Jake Foster, did he release that one? Probably didn't. Toby Cowan kicks it into the forward 50. Looks like a hold on Brereton. Not called. Hall comes out. Defensive work by Farrow. Farrow's left boot kicks up to half forward. It's not a bad option. He's trying to find one of his teammates. He's going to have to handball that one out. It's dropped in the hands of Toby Cowan to the captain coach Cato. Cato looks up, kicks the ball. Hill gets in front. Not far enough and chipped off by Jacob Daly.
Daly handballs off to Farrow, running quickly out wide to the attacking side of the ground, trying to find Thompson. Thompson's got to get his on his mark. That's a great tackle, nicely laid by George O'Neill.
Yeah, he thinks they're disappointed, but that's okay, because when you sling in a 360, they generally end up giving it to it, even if you do dispose of it. That's kind of the interpretation. There he goes, full 360, and then releases it. I think that's a good call for the umpire.
Rough, but anyway, George O'Neill's got the free kick.
You're not disagreeing with me, Tubes?
No, I just think that if you get a handball away in a tackle, a handball's a handball, isn't it? He didn't throw it.
Yeah, generally if you sling them for that period of time, or for 360 anyway, we won't worry about that.
No,
George O'Neill.
George O'Neill from a tough spot in the pocket, and he's just pushed it to the near side.
We rarely argue though, do we, Tubes? We're generally good, aren't we?
That's true. 45 points each here. Scores are level.
I'm hoping one day I'm going to walk into a Hill Street store somewhere in Tasmania, and you're going to be there and you're going to give me free sauce. That's actually why we hang out. Free sauce for life. Anyway, chip out here. I do greatly enjoy doing our work here, and it's great as we are coming into finals here, the Southern Footy League, and we've got 2 tight games at the moment. We've got a very tight game here. Tapping the ball just out in front of me is Jordan Eisel. Parker coming out a long way from his goal. He hasn't seen the ball for a while. Turning around the corner is Toby Cowan. His kick is just off. Tangata, who's had a good game. His kick is excellent. Nearly finds the fingertips of Thompson. Eisel trying to win that one. Push off one. Great tackle. Andrew Palmer. What a beauty that was, Tangata. In a little bit of space. And dragging to the ground is Chaplin. It's feeling. There's feeling. There's momentum going both ways. A swinging game. Feels like an Ashes Test match, Tubes.
Oh, well, it's certainly a hell of a lot better than that. I love footy way more than I love cricket, regardless of the level. Punched away nicely. Out it comes for Burgess, who got his kick smothered by Holton. Quick handball, scooping back. Out it comes now for Bierman, who got his handball off to Eisel around the corner on the left foot. Didn't look where he's kicking, but it's going to work out okay. In the arms of Lovell, who goes long down towards County, who's up forward. He somehow gets his hands on the footy towards Marcus Parker. Where's your mates? That's holding the footy. Umpire says, yep, you've thrown it away there, Marcus.
Now, not sure Parker. I mean, he obviously disappointed Parker, but he got possession. He's saying he didn't have enough time. I reckon my circadian rhythm's been ruined by watching the Ashes. I've got no idea what day it is of the week when there's a game of Ashes on. But here we are, local footy. We love it here on Duff TV, and we're enjoying it. Bierman, little chip out. Bierman, 45 metres out, screws it around. Parker gets it again. Oh. Did he control it? The umpire said no. Nilsson, pressure from County, picked up in the pocket, kicked into a dangerous spot. Duggan will have to be well here, just chips it. That's clever. Nice use of handball. So they're going to release it here, the Port, and they've got some run here as they come back towards the commentary side of the ground. One-on-one contest. Livington trying to bustle his way through and get to position. Tangata now onto the ball. Livingston playing some pressure. Gets it back again, Livingston. Looks up. 1 attempt, 2 attempts. Handballs out to a little bit of space. Does advantage his team, and Norfolk will run it away here.
Eisel now through the middle of the footy, the ground. around to get his kick forward. Holton, though, with the pickup. He's got a lot of time to assess his options, and he's got big Barry Hall down forward, keeps his feet nicely, hot on his hammer. Farrow, this is going to test the old legs. Quick kick inside forward 50, just chopped off there nicely, and Burgess will handball away, and they should clear through Morgan.
Maybe a little unselfish there, Barry Hall. He had time to cool down, but it still wasn't a bad option, though.
Out it comes now. Farrow's run off Barry Hall and found himself in some space in the back pocket. Looks long up the wing.
He wouldn't want to run too far because this could be turned over here.
Down in front of Bierman. Great work, Lovell off the footy. And the free kick will be his. Advantage not paid, so it'll go back to Lovell. Big shovel Lovell from half back.
It's a long way from goal at the moment, Lovell,
That's
isn't
a
it?
great kick. Gee, that's a good kick. And finds his man, Banks Smith. Banks Smith has Parker and my man Jai County down in the forward pocket. Looks in the Parker direction. Great lead. When you've got two twin towers down there like County and Parker, you start to panic as a backman.
Possibly, but you might see this. There should have been a defender coming in here. We might not quite see as Duff panned out on this one. There's a defender on the left here. He needed to run into this gap. That was poor. Poor defence.
So Marcus Parker going back to have a shot at his 5th goal. It's a nice kick off the boot. It just fades across to the left and goes through from behind. So 1 point in the margin. What a game of footy, Peach.
Yeah, we're nearly gone 18 minutes here in the elimination final. We'll get an update in a moment of the other game at Anzac Park, the qualifying final. But certainly, if this is any indication of what a final season we're going to have here in the Southern Football League, we're going to enjoy it. It's in the hands of Nathan Duggan, deep in defence. I don't mind this from Cygnet. Just build it up and then look for the 45 or the cross. There's that kick. Now needs to be play on here from Andrew Palmer. He goes further across the field. Duggan just clings onto that mark near Jai County. Chips it further afield. Clifford, so many times the opposition's been able to just chip the ball off. The ball hasn't quite reached. That may be due to a little bit of wind.
Again, look at this contest right now. 2 New Norfolk players against 4 Cygnet Port players. Where are the other Eagles?
Certainly the Eagles got run over by Port last week. Maybe there's some fitness there. Maybe there was a bit of wind or they lost some momentum as a little sneaky handball goes out the side.
What's going on in the background there? Is that some
Foster?
sort of
I'm not sure.
Pull?
Nearly won by Lovell. He's got some defensive pressure there from Polly. Now, can they run? They're looking to really try and run. Holton, who's playing on the ball at the moment. Burgess for the Port. Chips the ball out. Eisel, Nathan. He uses his hands.
Clever.
Now gets back towards Foster. Foster handballed the ball. Burgess says hacks the ball further afield. Gee, it's really rusty sort of football at the moment.
Well, it's panic.
Yeah, a little bit of panic stuff. Adam Duggan coming out. Adam Duggan gets the second one, the old 1-2. Kicks it up towards half forward. You can hear the noise lifting as Barry Hall comes out. Can they get the ball just towards him? He goes past the football. Jake Dance needed to be down and a bit more clean in that situation. And it's just hooped into the air and into the darkness for now.
This could possibly come back. It stays in somehow, out of bounds. Good result for the Eagles. Of course, there are our sponsors making it possible for the live stream today. Thank you to all of those who have chipped in to see possibly Barry Hall's final ever game.
Well,
Pete.
the way it's going, imagine there's some twists and turns in this game.
Out it comes for Eisel. He's looked dangerous around the contest as that one goes in. Scrappy stuff, quick kick down towards Barry Hall, who takes the mark on the lead. Well, again, the delivery that came in from Toby Cohen was exquisite.
But it was the turnover and the ball out of that congested situation. Sorry, the apologies to be made. Not have seen that on the television or on the screen. And Barry Hall had the ball delivered low into some space in front of him. And he's nearly unstoppable from there. Barry Hall to give Cygnet the lead for the first time in the quarter. It's coming nicely over the top of the cap of the goal umpire and the fans behind. Bazza has 5.
Well, a cheeky little 5-pack for big Barry Hall. And you can see him just struggling a little bit with the body there. The 42-year-old Bones just dragging him around this magnificent oval down here. Plenty of rain they've had down at Cygnet. Lush green grass.
Yeah, it's in good nick. The ground does bog up. It's a little bit better than what it used to be.
When he does that, when he comes out on a lead like that, he does not look 42 years old, does he? I don't know. Is he 42?
Yeah, he's 42. He's born in 77.
Wow.
I reckon his top hamstring's just a little sore at the moment.
So
see the way he's walking.
Adam Duggins by the looks of the rubs.
Yeah. So Eisel in the middle, tackled by Holton. Holton goes again and lays a second tackle. Now he picks it up, dishes the ball off to Palmer. It's kicked up towards the Hall area. Farrow leading that one out. He likes the ball when it hits the ground. Farrow just got out of the way then. Still an opportunity. Livingston on his right boot. Still inaccurate then. Livingston had some pressure on him. And a minor score. So it's a slender lead here for Cygnet.
Yep.
Hall's 5 is a really big factor at the moment. Choose Taylor.
6 points the margin, 8-4-52. Plays New Norfolk 7-4-46 as that kick comes out wide in towards County. Holton, clever handball. Cohen delivers now to Hall, and Hall takes the easiest of marks.
Turnover again, wasn't it?
If there's anyone you want the ball in the hands of to a leading forward, it's Toby Cohen.
He's a beauty, isn't he?
He's a ripper. Have a look at this. Barry Hall.
Sun is now shining on him as well. A little bit of a whisper, and the 3 lights around the ground are on. I'm not sure what they're like in the middle of winter here. They are on the lights here at Cygnet. They may not be doing a lot, but the light is shining on Bazza. Kicking for 5, in fact, kicking for 6. Yes.
3 in the term to put Cygnet up by 12 points.
They were down by 2 goals around about, 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
They're now up by 2. So 4-goal turnaround here for the Cygnet. And it's considerable at the moment in what is a relatively low-scoring game. Barry Hall's accuracy on front of goal has been a key factor we see here in the Move Food replay.
What a beauty.
Look at the Blake. Look at those guys there. They're loving it.
How good is Barry Hall's kicking style?
Well, both ends of the ground have got fantastic techniques from both Marcus Parker and Barry Hall. Some of the field kicking hasn't been as good, but this game has certainly lifted as it's gone on. It's certainly entertaining. Close. Bierman in front position. Punch out by Lovell. Go back again. Maybe a high tackle. Not decided there by the umpire. Livingston.
Sun's come out.
Yeah, incredible. Banks Smith. Parker, but chipping it off. That's great. Is Cato. Cato just dropped the football. Just trying to get our work. Josh Clifford trying to win. Wasn't able to. There's a lot of defenders around him. And there was an example of the quality defence then, as we see on the radar, thanks to G-Funk. We should be okay for rain, and the sun is out. Burgess.
Clever.
Parker. Great smother. Another chip out by Wigg. And another goal by... That was brilliant by Josh Hills.
Well, again, pressure from...
And that's their 3 goals this quarter have been really similar to that.
We're going to check that out again in the replay. It was just pressure from the players for the New Norfolk Eagles. Unbelievable stuff. Marcus Parker started it. And then the quick handball out.
Oh, what a handball by Jacob Wigg. So he's kicked a goal early in the quarter. Now that releasing handball, got it to a teammate. That's quality work from Jacob Wigg. So, lights on, sun shining. The wattle trees just there on the hills of, on the eastern side of Cygnet.
Spring has
looking
sprung,
splendid, and the smell of Holton busting through the pack. Mrs. Duffy's favourite, and it might have been a throw. Yep, no, a little hold here, so free kick. I love seeing Holton in the middle of the ground. I mean, he's a really good forward, can play back. Hall trips over his own feet. Farrow wins the football, runs away from him. Kicks it into some space to Foster, goes past Foster. Now, Palmer might have been a throw. Yes, it was. So Foster will win it here, just on half forward. Chip kick. Jai County marks the football in front of Schuth. And he's not going to give it to him either. We hear some effects mic work there. I should say some voice into the effects. So County. Parker leads into the pocket. Will he get the juggling mark? Just so casual, Marcus Parker. He's in kicking range too, Tubes Taylor.
I don't know how he does that, Marcus Parker.
Confidence. He's quite good at football.
He is very good at football, and I genuinely love watching him play because you never know what's going to happen when Marcus Parker's around the footy. In he comes from a tough spot on this ground. The breeze really died down. It's still going across his body. He gives it an almighty roost, but not enough out on the full. So 6 points the margin on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. It is Cygnet 9-4-58, leading New Norfolk 8-4-52. 6 points the margin.
Cato out of defence. Gee, that was a gutsy kick from Cato. Palmer being one of the best today. Livingston being one of the other ones. He might get this, Livingston. Just puts a bit of pressure on that. Reaches down, tries to get around Thompson. Gee, that's quality from Livingston. Hull, one-on-one. Hull, great work by Farrow. Gets a hand away. Hull's not going to chase after that one. He's staying very much near the goals. And that'll be a hold up here now. I'm going to release this one. It could be holding the football.
Yeah, I think that possibly should have been holding the footy.
Yeah, you know how they do the pretend handballing?
Yeah,
he just needed to make an effort.
I don't think George was trying real hard.
Nor was it high, nor was it. But anyway, try to reach it out. Now that is high from Jordan Banks-Smith. And it's going to be a free kick here. And it's going to be a shot on goal late in this quarter after 2 goals. We'll see here on the Move Food replay. Actually got him in the knee onto, is that Jennings? Yeah, Jennings
may have ducked into it too a little bit.
I reckon that's 50-50, but still not a bad decision. So, a massive kick to Reece Jennings. Nearly 27 gone here in the 3rd quarter. This will get it back to a couple of goals. And Banks-Smith's about to throw, he's about to pretend at the arrow. And that is just sneaking left. A disappointing effort from Jennings. A missed opportunity for the Port. An opportunity now for New Norfolk to go forward.
Gee, how nice is it down here at Cygnet? Look at this lush green grass as the ball comes out for...
Need to get out of your posh little latte area of North Hobart, mate. Live in the country.
Banks-Smith
where the real Tasmanians are.
Gets his kick away long. Lovell will come late. Flew high did my man County. Trying hard down there is Hills. Nice little handball out. Jennings got his kick away, but it's going to land in the arms of Foster. Foster left it behind, though.
Toby Cohen just jumped at Foster then, and it's kind of put him off.
Now a chance out here for Walsh with that interesting kicking style. Kicks it to the coach because he said if you don't, you're not playing next week if we get in. And Marcus Parker again with space. Joshy Clifford, as every time he touches the footy, something happens. Or when he's around it.
You know what? As soon as you called him, I looked up to see where Parker was. I thought, I bet he gets, because he held it for an extra 2 steps, Josh Clifford, and he turned and got the ball onto his right boot. It was clever.
So Marcus Parker, it will kick from about 40 metres. Sends it long, and that is through the middle. And 1 point the margin. Marcus Parker kicks his 5th.
Wow, what a beauty.
We've got a game.
We definitely have a game here at Cygnet. It's a point. The 2 scores leading into this game throughout the season and also last week were close. But this one could be even more epic, and it's certainly of greater importance because the team that doesn't get in front at the end will be having their season ended this weekend. The team that wins here will be playing the winner. And at the moment, I think Huonville was still in front. But a close one at Anzac Park in the qualifying final. All action here in the middle, but all our eyes are on this game. 3/4 time. What a quarter of football, Tubes Taylor. Parker at one end, Barry Hall at the other. Bunches of goals to both. But it was the middle of the ground for me. Andrew Palmer and Jake Dance started to get a little bit of the ball, and Braden Livingston, probably the best player on the ground and the most influential mid for Cygnet, got the ball into the hands of their goal kick. On the flip side, Josh Clifford started to get a bit of it. Banks-Smith had a pretty good quarter as well. Nathan Eisel, always strong and contested. That was a great quarter of footy. Wow.
Certainly was. Barry Hall looks a bit sore there, Peach, but the goal kickers for the Port. 6 to that man on screen, Barry Hall. 2 to Luke Patton and 1 to Braden Livingston for the Eagles. 5 to Marcus Parker, then singles to Josh Hills, Jacob Wigg, Jacob Daly and Joshy Clifford with the volley. David Beckham style straight through the middle of the goals. We'll take a quick break here on Duff TV. The final term coming up. Please stick around. We've got a contest in our hands. 1 point the margin here in this elimination final of the SFL here on Duff TV. He had one out here. It was rubbish.
Really excited, you know. Atmosphere needs to be electric. Get this job done. Come on, look at that
Tight. Where's the sun? Right behind me? Yeah. That's good for our short bloke. Happy, Nathan? Right, it's a scrap. It is. And it's now down to who wants it more. There's no, the breeze is gone. It's probably our scoring end down there now. All right? So it's going to take some effort. And maybe just a little bit of composure, I reckon. Really quick with that first option. Some composure with football and get some run from there. We have to win the game, basically. The side that really wants to win the game and take the game on and work harder will win it. Pretty simple, all right? Won the close one last week. Let's do it again. Come on, boys. Bluey, Bum, Dugs, Pasty, CP, good boys. Mitch, good efforts. Now we get some run. I reckon we get some control the footy out there, but now I think we've got to open the game up from there. We go. We turn the footy over and we go. Switch the play. Really start to open it up. Paddy, Reese, Joe, I'm going to put you in the ruck. I reckon. Go, Joe. Effort, all right? I want work rate. Get your taps, then get on to county either side. You really compose yourself on this first 10 or 15 minutes. Will really set the game up for us, mate. Come on. Cheese, Toby, myself, Pippi, Lukey, Holtz hitting up at the ball, Dead Rock as well. Scuddy giving us another option there. Baz there. All right, forwards. The rest of the side get up and about when you blokes put some pressure on, but hit up at the footy as well. On the move, get back off the mark. Let's move the ball nice and quickly, and let's win this game of footy. All right, let's take it. Come on, let's go!
Our territory, boys.
He's fired up. There's no next week for these boys if they lose. Final term of this elimination final here in the SFL between Cygnet and New Norfolk. 1 point the margin. My name is Tubes Taylor. Aaron Peach Roberts, you were out at the New Norfolk huddle.
Josh Clifford. I mean, I've come from 10 years of coach education, and my job was to...
It's a humble brag.
Well, no. And so I really listen to how people communicate. Very impressed by Josh Clifford. he spoke to the players, asked some questions, but he talked about what decisions, that's what will change this. So manning up at stoppages was one. He's clearly got some plans for some of the better players, such as Jake Dance, Andrew Palmer, around what the defenders do and when they're in a contested situation. He kind of put it back on the players. You guys have just got to make, and he was frustrated too, you've got to make better decisions than what you're currently making.
Yep.
And I think he also was really concerned that when they kicked those first couple of goals, motivation was high, but they lost it really quickly. When they lost their momentum, they struggled to get it back. So I think he's expecting to turn around, but there's some frustration in Josh Clifford, I can certainly tell.
Well, here they go, straight away. The Cygnet boys get their kick forward. Schuth couldn't quite get the mark, and out it comes now for Cygnet because it's going to come back. Patrick Verrill gets hot on the footy. Handballs off to the coach, Cato. Sends a low one down towards Holton. Couldn't quite get it. Cohen picks it up. Handballs away. Nicely rove, though, by Chaplin, who got his kick away, but it's coming straight back. I think that could be Verrill down there, who kicks in towards Dyrene, who's been thrown into the ruck.
They've got a plethora of ruckers, don't they? And there's the other one who's rucked for most of the game so far for Cygnet.
Well, he's going to go back and have a shot from about 55.
No, he's not. He's going to handle it off.
Verrill gets his kick down towards Barry, who muscles his way into the contest. So strong.
Some nous he plays on Barry Hall. It's kicked a beauty.
Well, that's his 7th goal for Barry Hall. His first in this term, and the margin now extends out to 7 points.
Well, there's two things that we'd be disappointed about that, as we see on the Jackson Motor Company. Farrow pushed off there. There was a little hand at the back, but in Australian rules football, that one's allowed. Now it's there. You can see he Holton having a chat. No defender came in to ensure that he wasn't going to run around. In fact, it was kind of Banks Smith in the end. It was awkwardly there. In fact, Zig Slater. And Clever understanding the moment. And there's the moment going to mean Barry Hall plays next week. Long time in this game to go, though, Tubes. I'm getting excited.
Heaps to go. So it looks like they've moved Rowan Heron back down.
I think they probably just need to probably push another player back here. And I mean, Norfolk are very much in this. Livingston trying to beat a couple. Can't beat Tangata. Tangata then on his knees receives it. Handballs the ball out. He did have Banks Smith just next to him. There's some space in here. Oh, just falling off that one. Slater again, chipped up. Doreen tries to win it. He can't get it. Daly pushes off one. Handballs towards the middle of the ground. Dance, Eisel. Palmer pushed off him. Eisel now kicks it up towards the forward 50. Dug it in best position over Bierman. The punch hasn't gone to advantage. Look out, Parker. Very dangerous on the ground. Walsh sneaks it through. Couldn't. Parker on the edge. Walsh trying to get that one out. He can't. Excellent defensive work in the end.
I tell you what, Peach, the Eagles are just willing themselves back into this contest. They don't look pretty, but they are willing themselves back into this contest. As it's down forward, a big push out here. It's going the way of Parker, I think. Yep, against Doreen, or Doreen, however you want to say it.
Big moment.
Huge moment.
He isn't always as effective a kicker. I don't have any stats on this, but anecdotally from watching a lot of Marcus Parker, we'll see the ruck contest.
Well,
I don't understand all the rules, to be fair.
You can't shepherd off the ball.
No, I think that's what it was. What do you reckon? Parker now. Just sneaks it in to the right post. Marcus Parker steps up. And he's got 6. 6 at one end from Parker, 6 at the other end from Barry Hall. It's a beauty here at Cygnet. And Hume will have lost a bit of run at Suso. It's trying to get it out. I'm trying to get it out. Lindisfarne have got the break on Hume too by a few goals in
there
the
it
other
is.
car.
Could you get a more even contest on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard?
One more point.
One more point probably would, as we got a fly on the screen there of the Duff TV camera. But we are back in the middle. Doreen up against. Doreen wins it down again. Straight towards his teammate in Palmer, who couldn't get a hold of the footy. County dives on it. And we will see another ball up.
We've got Jennings, Palmer, and maybe Cato just on the ball at the moment. Doreen also I like Doreen County option. Now that should be a free kick to Doreen.
Holding footy. It's going to go against County. Yes, you're right.
He doesn't look that happy, does he?
No, he's not.
And he's not even on the mark.
And this one goes deep inside forward 50, but it's cut off easy.
You could see once again Barry Hall saying, that's where I wanted you to kick it out towards the left into space. And he didn't.
Couldn't quite take the mark. Nicely by Palmer. Handballs over the top. Finds a man down there in Patton who gets his handball away. Trying to find Verrill. Then Eisel it was that got his handball away. Geordie got it off to Banks Smith. Banks Smith with a nice kick forward and the shovel. Big Lovell takes the mark at centre wing. He looks inboard towards half forward. Going back with the flight. County takes a nice strong mark and he's got the journey in him, but he'll look down towards Parker. Which way does Parker go? Out in towards the pocket, almost like a replay from where he took the last one. It bounces off his chest just a little bit too hard for him to mark. Handball came out from the Port defender. He bounced up though, Parker, and got a great tackle, and he's holding the footy. Parker with desperate stuff. Sends it down now into the forward line. Punch away by the Cygnet defenders now. Cato got his handball off, and then Cohen. Now Doreen. He gets tackled without it. Does Joey Clifford. Joshy Clifford, I should say. And he'll have a kick from directly in front. Well, almost. But it might be on his journey here.
No, he's got the journey just. Interesting one. Flat-footed Doreen. So, one, it was a poor handball. But secondly, Doreen wasn't moving when he received the ball. And because he's probably not the quickest, it made an easy target.
Decides to pop it up. Bierman couldn't take the mark. Just waited for it. Now, Eisel got the handball off. Quickly Hills around the corner. This one will go just through for a behind. Scores are level.
Great work, Tubes Taylor. A couple of good minutes from you. So,
sorry.
He loves a compliment. It was good. I listened. I enjoyed the commentary, Tubes Taylor. It's fantastic to listen to your dulcet tones. Now, we go back into half forward. Marked by Holt. No, he does drop it in the end. Kicked off the ground. Now, is that kicking in danger? I'm not even sure if that is a rule. Unduly rough play was one of the old ones. Anyway, Holton has the football, and Slater can't understand why. He's still got his hands in the air. Palmer. That's not really even a top knot. It's like a mid knot from Palmer, sort of flopping behind. Oh, Palmer doesn't very often turn it over. Banks Smith's had a good game. Chips it off. Goes up further. Bierman at the back here. He's not to the advantage. Duggan in front. Just probably wasn't the right option in the end. Duggan goes out. Yeah, just sloppy then from Verrill. Verrill's in a bit of trouble. Then it's won by Lovell. Lovell goes up towards Parker. He had two players to beat. One of those was Nilsson. Duggan handballs backwards. He finds Gordon. Gordon goes across the face of goal. Finds Mitchell Doreen. Mitchell Doreen looks up, has a bounce. Risky business. He'll go over the top of the handball here to Cato. He may even get it back again. Cato stops. Great defensive work from Banks Smith, who got a hand on that one. Gordon needs to release that one. He doesn't. Spinning around. Lovely work by Slater. Finds Josh Clifford.
Clever.
Slaps it further forward into the middle. Boots off the ground by Jai County into the middle. Duggan goes to his knees. Bierman lays a tackle on him.
Tackle.
And that is that holding the football though?
It's incorrect disposal is what it is.
He didn't get rid of it. Okay,
yeah,
good call.
I just think that unfortunately for Bluey Duggan, or one of the Bluey Duggans, he's picked it up here. He's got Pryor and he
handled the ball into his hand.
Maybe, yeah.
The umpire may not have seen it. Once again, it's not a terrible decision for the umpire. The intent from the defender. But he certainly handballed the ball.
Big kick for Bierman. We do love watching him play footy, don't we?
Yeah, he's a really improved player. He's got a bit of confidence in him, doesn't he?
And that one just rides the breeze through for a goal. So Jai Bierman gets his first. The Eagles second of the quarter, and they are 6 points up on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard.
So first time in front since about 10 minutes in to the third quarter. So their best lead for around 40 minutes of football. So we see Bierman's kick. He nearly stops as he kicks it like he's kind of stuck in the mud. Let's see this here. Awkward in the end, but it was effective. And all that matters at the end as it goes over the top of the umpire, and it's a goal. So a 6-pointer. Cygnet need to respond. Throughout this day's play, Cygnet have, as now Doreen goes up. Free kick here, potentially Banks Smith giving that one away. He's running around near Palmer at the moment, and Palmer right in the middle of the ground. Goes out, Schuth gets a bit some space, a second mark for him out here. He gets some confidence and go back and have a shot because Barry Hall's just said, I think he put his hand in the air to indicate, have a shot, mate. I'm not going to make a lead. My old legs are tiring. I've booted 6.
7.
I've dragged you here.
You got 7. Barry's
even
got
more
7.
tired. You might need to start kicking him on his left. There's a lead coming out. He's going to get it to it. It's a beautiful lead. It was a long lead from Jake Dance. And he takes the mark a lot closer.
How tight's the curl on Jakey Dance's hair?
Well, I reckon if he grew it out, there'd be an afro of some sorts, and he'd join a reggae band. I'm sure there is a reggae band somewhere down this part of town. Jake Dance, massive kick to respond. It's 5 points.
How about this? I've just heard from James Wiggins that the Huonville-Lindisfarne game was a draw at the final siren, playing 5 minutes each way.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Thanks for go to that. Banks Smith on deep in defence now, looking for an option. This is where they just need to hold it up. Doreen's got the best position. Coming from the back, trying to run through that is Burgess. He couldn't quite get the football. Gordon with a handball backwards. Good decision from him. Polly to the middle. Schuth again. Reaches down low to get the football. Just gets it off the bottom before it hits the turf. Now he looks up. Barry Hall just goes past him. Dance tries to win the football. Tries to use tunnel ball tactics to get that one out. And Livingston has got it. He lays on top of it. It's still alive here. And Norfolk will get it back.
Out the ball comes. This kick's going to no one in particular for the Eagles. It's marked nicely by Gordon, who goes one way then the other, then sends it long in towards Holton. Holton flies, somehow gets his hands to the footy. It's picked up by Eisel. Handballed off to Tangata. Now through the middle for Daly, who gets his kick towards Parker. The big fist comes down. Doreen gets tackled hard by Clifford. How to get rid of that? Umpire says play on. Duggan gets his handball into the middle towards Doreen. Tap work was great down there by Wigg, who's been quiet by his normal lofty standards. Now in front of Bierman. Bierman is going to run inside, forward 50 in towards goal. Behind.
Well, opportunity gone missing there for Bierman. Don't know if it's actually the case. We'll have to watch a few more minutes. I think New Norfolk just losing a little bit of energy in their legs at the moment. It's lifted here. Cygnet have got a goal to get back. And I feel like even though New Norfolk are playing some good footy, they might have the legs here, Cygnet. 1-on-1. Easy in the end. No, little hold off there. That should be a free kick against Parker. And it will be a free kick to Nelson. There's been a few sort of, the old timers call it Ticky Touchwood stuff. But, you know, yeah, it's probably, now it's dangerous. Oh, Duggan slid. We've seen a lot of players slip over and Duggan just copped the knees of Jared Eisel. Now he's told to play on here. It's a really good kick though. And the waiting hands of Georgie O'Neill. He quickly plays on. Schuth from behind. Livingston goes up. Holton probably needed to handball that one off. Couldn't quite get it away. The defence of New Norfolk currently holding strong. Thompson runs off half back. Bierman's going to be the first onto that one. He's having a really good 15 minutes here. Bierman, yeah, clever, finds Banks Smith.
Banks Smith from the cricket pitch just pops it up. That one's got a little bit not enough on it for County. Doreen with strength through the half-back line. Handballs off to O'Neill. Back to Doreen. He sends it up towards Livingston. Livingston spins out of trouble nicely with a blind turn. He gets his kick towards Schuth. Schuth now looks down towards Barry Hall. Doesn't get enough on it for Barry. The hamstrings will be tested here. Holton with strength through the contest. Sends one home. Goal!
Magnificent from Ben Holton with a little tap from Barry Hall. You could see Livingston get the ball. He got his eyes up. Barry Hall had some space. As you'll see this kick from Schuth. You could see what he wanted to do, but caught the end of the toe. Here's the tap. Look at that. And look at this. A little bit of pace from Benny Holton. And the great finish. And he turns to the right and gets a few of his mates pumped up. And a little cheeky shot off there to Josh Farrow. It's back again, Jude. Could we have 2 ties? 2 draws? Not even
Scores
sure.
are level. I don't think it's in my contract to commentate after a draw. I can't handle it.
Double time?
So in the middle now, ruck contest. Doreen up against County. County gets shoved off the footy, no free kick. He goes looking for it now. A quick kick in by Cohen.
Barry.
Down towards Barry Hall. There's a little on the bounce. He spins around onto the right boot. Sends one high. It's not going to have the journey. And it lands in the arms of Thompson.
Gutsy mark from Thompson, wasn't it? The ball's in the air for a long time. Now it's Josh Farrow right on the bike track, the old bike track, kicks it up further afield. Now it's going to be one here. It should be walked by George O'Neill. He's had 4 or 5 minutes of outstanding football. Barry's just moving. He's asking for it high. He'll get it high. He's in best position. He'll get it, Barry. No, he won't. Livingston over the top. Nearly marked the football. Livingston snaps a beauty.
Wow.
Barry Hall hardly gets up. Livingston with some youth. Snaps one in the right pockets. It lifts again.
What a contest, eh? How about this kick? Barry Hall again, just in the right spot. Livingston come across the front of who will be.
He might have spoiled him as well.
The finish from the dead rock turns into a living stone, and there is life in the Cygnet Footy Club. 6 points the margin with about 10-15 minutes to go in this footy game.
Well, I got to say, I mentioned about 4 minutes ago, they just lost a bit of run, but I still think Norfolk on one leg, a very dangerous team. Dyrene goes to ground. The ball's just caught up in his hip. Josh Clifford's on the ball. He'll start to talk. Banks Smith's in there. Jai County and Beerman also running off half, or maybe off the wing at the moment. I like all of those players. They're all excellent decision makers, which is what Clifford wants. Cato tries to get that one out. Holton couldn't quite fall in his now. Nearly won by Doreen. Holt again. Now running shot. Cowan decides to handball. Cato, the captain coach, just to the left.
Handy point. Farrow will take the kick. He's going to move the ball quickly to the defensive side. County flies high, just misread it. Out it comes for Doreen. Now to Patton. Patton into the middle. Oh, just a great mark to Toby Cowan. Courageous.
Spent a lot of balls just go to the top of the fingertips of players and just getting his one and the top of his fingertips on that one, Cowan, but it was a good kick, wasn't it, Tubes?
Absolutely beautiful, and courage shown by Cowan to go back with a flight like that.
This is massive now.
Huge kick.
The season of New Norfolk could slip, but there's still about 10 minutes left, so
plenty of time.
There's oodles of time. You can see Parker's about 30-40 metres further up, so there's just, even if they turn it over, it's going to be half New Norfolk to score.
So Toby Cowan gets really close to the man on the mark. Just pops it up and... Oh, look who it is. Shoof. Just only one that really wanted it. I don't know how he...
You know what Josh Clifford said at three-quarter time to a couple of the players? You're ball watching. And on that occasion, I bet you they were ball watching the defenders here, and they won't realise that shoot. See, who's this lad here? I think it's Rowan Thompson. At no stage did he run near shoot. This should be a goal. And it is. Shooth gets his lead out to their best lead for about 55 minutes. It's handy. It's 13 points, Tubes Taylor, and a good mark from Shooth, a good finish.
Well, it was a 1-point margin in favour of the Port. They've shot it out, as you say, to 13 points. They've kicked 4 goals to 2 in this term. And I'll tell you what, the investment of having Barry Hall come to this footy club creates moments like that. Because you do panic about a big man coming through to hit that pack.
Barry Hall's not going to run at the football at the moment. He is really slowed down.
He's sore.
Yeah, he's proper sore, but he's just able to do little things, the little tap, the little block, the little hold. And if he gets anywhere near it, he'll mark the football. Toby Cowan's having a great quarter. Cato's also lifted here. Cowan again runs towards 35, gets a handball off. It was a little awkward, and it's going to be chipped deep off here by Chaplin, who kicks it up. That's a neat kick. Got weak. It's getting dark here at Cygnet. Jai County in best position. Dyrene just gets there first. County drags him to the ground. It could have been holding the man, I would have thought, but not called by the umpires. Lovell pushed it off. Now Cowan again is everywhere at the moment. Decent kick from Cowan. George O'Neill. O'Neill's got someone out here. It's number 11, Payton, who had 2 goals in that first quarter. Has some run. Has a bounce. Banks Smith chasing him. Now he decides it's partly smothered, if there's such a thing. Shooth tries to come in and win it. Payton's got the football again. So he ran about 90 metres. Payton had the ball on the defensive 50, and now he's nearly inside the attacking 50. Great effort.
That kick of Patton was right in front of us here at the commentary box, and he had on his inside the coach, Ben Cato, and Cato was looking at him as if to say, hurry up and kick it, mate.
Yeah, he saw the spot.
Nice tackle laid, but it'll be a ruck contest again here at half forward for the Port.
We hope to get the score at Lindisfarne Anzac Park very soon. Shoot looked around, he had no one
He had a
around him.
fortnight to get rid of that.
Anyway, he kicks it up further field, tapped around by Eisel. Livingston, clever handball off. That's good, just a chip kick. And it's got towards Payton.
Is there two Pattons out there?
Yeah, two number 11s at the moment. Josh Clifford in front of him. He's just stopped. Don't mind this. Now, I don't reckon there's going to be a lead from Barry Hall at the moment. He's deep on the goal line. Pattons actually looks pretty confident from 55 metres. Barry Hall's going to get this one. Oh, it lands on his... He only needed to take one more step. Still an opportunity. Cowan in the pocket. Cowan to match winner. Cowan misses. Keeps New Norfolk in it. I think they're the New Norfolk horns there.
We've got a score. I'm trying to find a score for us from the other game.
Maybe we need to get on Twitter. Doreen in front position. Got pushed off the ball. Lovell's got it. New Norfolk need a goal, obviously. The score not working for them at the moment. Slowed up. Jai County in best position, but Doreen's right arm went up like a telescope. Got it down. Josh Hills towards the boundary line. And they'll probably want it over here because New Norfolk don't have many numbers around this one. Now, somehow that ball's handballed further afield. The race is on. Parker off the ground, dribbles it further afield, running towards goal.
No.
It's still in play. Parker's still there, tight in the pocket. Pressure from O'Neill. Parker on his right boot, kicks the beauty, puts his right arm into the air. Parker gets one back.
Marcus Parker, you absolute freak. Let's get a replay of that because that is just instinct footy there.
Is that his
from
own
Marcus
assist?
Parker.
2 assists, I reckon, in this.
Great tackle from Eisel.
There was no way he should have won this
Have a
football
look.
here.
This one.
Kick off the ground, nearly went through for a goal. Now, running through at the moment is George O'Neill. Comes in now, couldn't lay. He slips over, and look at the finish.
Oh, Marcus Parker. Margin back to 8 points here at Cygnet Oval. On the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard, it is 13-8-86, leading New Norfolk 12-6-78. Umpires called a
6-6-6.
warning
Yeah,
for the
6-6-6 warning.
6-6-6.
Yes, so Cygnet had one extra player there in the defensive work. They need to get him in the middle of the ground. No winger standing next to Tyson Eisel. And now he's come across. So just losing Jennings there. Doesn't happen very often, does it, Choose?
No.
The 6-6-6.
Doreen trying down to his mate in Palmer. Couldn't quite get it out. He gets it back from Palmer as the kick comes forward. Holton on a man who just gets shoved away. Now the kick down towards Barry Hall. Protected the zone. And they love him here at Cygnet.
He like a bulldog protecting the gate at home, wasn't he? And as soon as the kick went in, Tubes Taylor, you just knew Barry Hall was going to get his hands on it. And there it is on the replay. And to respond, one AFL legend at one end and one SFL legend at the other.
Absolutely incredible stuff here. Goes in, makes no mistake. That's 8 for Barry. And could it be enough to get Cygnet across the line? Peachy Roberts.
Well, they're not getting the ball out of the middle at the moment in Norfolk. They're lacking some run. However, they have Marcus Parker, and at the moment he can do anything, and he is doing everything. But a couple of goals, it's an advantage. And the other thing is 14, well, it's actually 14 points at the moment. So
3 kicks.
So that's the extra kick, isn't it? So it's going to be difficult. Probably 4 minutes left.
It's getting dark here too.
It's actually really dark. I'm really enjoying the yellow football because in the old days, this is a red one. And in the middle, Jai County needs to win it out. He does. He gets a handball out. Doesn't really favour one of his teammates. Gordon to Cato. Cato up to half forward. Holton in front position. Been good battle from him. Livingston gets the football. Had a player further afield. Livingston kicks it up. Should be defended here by New Norfolk. They've got the numbers. Just whacked out. Palmer might get there first. Beerman does though for New Norfolk. Handballs the ball back. Finds Thompson. Chipped by Thompson. That's good. And a mark taken. Clever mark by Jordan Eisel.
So Eisel looking for 50 there. Gets a kick away. Apparently the Huonville Lions are up by 20 points as the kick comes in. Wigg with one of his few kicks that he's had for the day, been warmed by Bluey Duggan. And it comes for Gordon. Gordon now looks in the whole direction, who's still got a little bit of work to do on this one. Trying hard is Big Barry Hall. Great pressure again. Barry gets his handball out to Livingston. Down behind play is Jakey Dance. Handball over the top from Holton. Holton to Sleuth. Sleuth gets the goal. His second of the term. And that could be it for New Norfolk.
Yeah, unfortunately, I reckon it might be 20 points, nearly the 25-minute mark. This is the best lead for Cygnet for the whole game, and it's two of the best players. Hall, Livingston, Holton involved, and Schuth at the end, receiving the handball from Holton. Bounced the right way. The pressure wasn't there from Zeke Slater, and a desperate attempt. But you just feel the life is being sucked out of New Norfolk as the mist rolls in here at Cygnet. And they're looking for maybe a match-up against Lindisfarne next week, who maybe have lost their game. So Palmer, he might have hurt his fingers there, Palmer. He might be okay. Josh Clifford still trying for New Norfolk. Duggan thumps it further forward with his fist, finds O'Neill. Up to half forward now, O'Neill. Just reaching over the back was Toby Cowan. Cowan goes again. Shoves Chaplin off the football. But Chaplin butters up with a short kick. And he finds the hands of reliable Josh Hills. Josh Hills goes wide. Bierman just clings onto the football. Decides to play on Bierman. Runs to around 55 metres. Kicks up high. Parker at the back.
Oh, wow.
They just need to get the ball to Parker. And he could do anything, but he may be running out of time here as the clock is running down, and he copped a clip around his right ear. He's just holding that, but Parker will kick one. He'll get it back to 14 points. Maybe a small amount of life in the defibrillator produced by Parker.
Well, the quarters, I'm not sure how long there is to go.
About 28, I think.
About 28 minutes. So
There's been some goals in this quarter, so maybe 29.
Yep, the margin back to 14 points here on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. That is Parker's 8th goal, and it's been a shootout, hasn't it? How about this mark?
Yeah, it's a great mark. Good kick. 9 goals last week to Marcus Parker. He's so good when the defender is kind of just in front of him. Body work. And he jumps, and his lateral or his vertical leap is outstanding. He can jump from 2 feet and get above the defender. And he did on that occasion.
Quick kick off the ground by Palmer. Goes forward again for Cygnet. Out towards Livingston. Down towards Barry Hall. Can't quite get the mitts on it. Now a chance from a tough angle. Just sends it really high.
Where's that gone?
Nowhere. It went nowhere. And that one goes out of bounds.
That's because Barry Hall's hamstrings have given up on him. They can only go upwards and not across.
Mate, but how good is it to see him still out? He's clearly sore.
How much ice do they have here? They're going to have to...
They're just going to chuck him in the river over the back here, because that's be pretty cold down there. So Barry Hall's kicked 8 for the game. He's kicked 1 in every single quarter.
Yeah, you look at the wrestling. The ruck contest. Well, it wasn't even a ruck contest there. It was a bit of Roman Greek wrestling.
Apparently it's the Lions by 11. So the winner of this game will play Lindisfarne at Anzac Park next week. Ruck contest 1 down. Out it comes, and tackled hard was Daly. Maybe around the neck. Umpire was on the wrong side. We'll see a ball up.
Well, 2 classic games in the start of the SFL finals for 19. Dodgers Ferry wait over at Shark Park.
For Huronville.
That'd be a good game. I reckon Huronville are good away.
Duggan got his kick away. Slater pushed off it. There was Peter O'Neill, I think.
Worked out okay in the end, but Slater handballed the ball straight back to the hot spot. He should have handballed that towards the boundary line, surely. Ball up here.
Barry Hall out of the ruck.
Barry Hall picks it up. Now, what's happened here? Free kick. Little push out. I think it's getting tooth here, but it's not going to matter. 28 and a half gone. Joe County kicks it high. Very high. And Polly marks the football. Goes up towards Holton. Holton has to run back. Nearly got that one. Shoots on his right boot. Snaps it around the corner.
There it is.
And it is a win. Cygnet progress. And we think they progress to play Lindisfarne next week at Anzac Park. Barry Hall with 8. Someone's going to have to carry him up, I reckon. Maybe someone will have to run out and give him a beer. A magnificent game. We're just having a chat to Farrow, and that's a wonderful finish, Tubes.
He's given him coaching tips here. That is the testament of Barry Hall down there, because Joshy Farrow, a young bloke, learning the craft still, Joshy Farrow, but great stuff to see him coaching down there. And they talked a little bit about Jared Ruffhead doing that in the VFL.
Yep.
How good is that for Josh Farrow to get some hot tips on next year?
You know what? Josh Farrow was never going to say, no, I don't want that advice.
No.
I just want to get away from you. But anyway, the wonderful sportsmanship.
Incredible.
And, I mean, Barry Hall said to you early today, Tubes, he came in here motivated, wanting this. You can see the smile on his face, but it's not about Barry Hall necessarily. Great win for the Cygnet Football Club.
Yeah.
Wonderful game from New Norfolk. They were outstanding today.
Quickly go through the goal kickers for the Port. 15-8-98 to 13-6-84. They'll play Lindisfarne at Anzac Park next week in the second semi.
First semi-final.
First semi, beg your pardon. 8 goals to Barry Hall, then 2 to the Dead Rock, Braden Livingston, 2 to Luke Patton, all came in the first quarter, and Reece Schuth kicked 2, Benny Holton with 1 in that last term. For the Eagles, it was 8 to the superstar Marcus Parker, and then singles to Joshy Hills, Jai Bierman, Jacob Wigg, Jacob Daly, and Josh Clifford. Better players for the day. I think the coaching move of putting Big Dyrene into the ruck was huge in that last quarter. Big Joey Dyrene moving into the ruck in that last term was massive. They won a lot of ruck hit-outs through that last term, the Port.
Yeah,
better players for the day, Peach.
Jai County was in the ruck in that last quarter solely by himself. And Dyrene and Brereton, shoot, there's a bunch of players that can go into the ruck. What a wonderful to have that stretch of players, that depth of the ruck contest, because it's such an important position. But certainly for me, the structure of the ball movement and the energy from Jake Dance and Andrew Palmer in the middle, and then a little bit of class from Braden Livingston. His delivery into the forward line
he was great.
Was fantastic. But then you have people like George O'Neill on the halfback, Adam Duggan off halfback. Jackson Gordon had a really good quarter. Best player on the ground, though, Toby Cowan. Yep. He had the influence and he lifted when it was required. Norfolk, on the other hand, had a bunch of really good players. No better than Marcus Parker with 8. Thought Josh Walsh played a good game. Jai County was really durable throughout the day's play. Early on, and particularly the first quarter, Ben Lovell playing up half forward, took a bunch of kicks. Josh Clifford tried all day long. And you know what? Josh Farrow did actually have a good game. When the ball was in his favour and it was in the air, he ran really well, along with Cody Morgan off halfback.
All right, well, thanks very much to all the sponsors for getting Duff TV down here today. We're hoping that we may be able to go down and get a little bit of the song, but there they are, the Cygnet Top Pub. There, check this out, the technology that we've got here at Duff TV.
Camera.
But we might take a break here, Peach. It's always good to be in the box with you.
Thanks very much, Tubes.
My name is Tubes Taylor. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, stick around here on Duff TV. Finals coming up soon. It is Cygnet by 14 points.
won the Hillville game? Hillville.
Hillville won 25 points.
So they don't get home final?
Scores were level at the full time. Biggest fun. Scores were level. Hillville kicked the last 4 goals in extra time.
Extra time. That will just finish.
Biggest fun with 20 odd points after the time.
Oh, the scissors Ruthie, please. Lucy, just what?
Right there, best.
Kick of the kids.
Mitch, you right? All right. Look, fantastic job. Should be really proud of yourselves. I don't think it was pretty, but it's probably not going to be pretty. And I'm happy with that. That'll suit us. Down to a tee, play forward half footy, apply the pressure, and just grind them out. They broke in the end. We got them in the end, especially around the middle of the ground. When we can give those 4 quarters of that kind of effort. So fantastic. I won't say too much. Great. It's
Fought it out well.
I've got some players here, but then I look at it. I'm going to put another 6 in there. So I've probably lent towards a couple of blokes that have missed out and had good games recently. But Doug's, I thought you were fantastic. Really good. Yeah, fantastic. And certainly strengthens that whole side when you and your brother back there just doing the work. Dead rock around the middle. CP. Had a really good game last week as well, especially when I look back at it. Really strong back there, so found a little spot for you, I think. Bluey did a good job, mate. Just do the job. Just do the good job on Tuesday again and we'll be right. He is the one bloke that can get off the chain, so had to really good job and well done. Holtz, once again. And Pacey's probably had some good form last week. Got unlucky not to get a mention, but look, Joe, last quarter. That's what we need. We need that to compete. Like it's not going to come in pretty. I guarantee you. Next week we're going to go to Lindisfarne. I think it's not going to come pretty again. But we need to compete. You're really competing that last quarter. Basically, we'll just over the line with Cheese and the blokes through the middle. Like Cheese, probably apologies. Well, you're probably in our best three, maybe. I don't know. We'll have a look at the video. What do you reckon?
The game changer. What's the last quarter? Sorry.
Toby playing a role. I know you want to play. I know you want to play 99.9% in the midfield. But for us to be successful, that's not going to happen. Right? But especially the last quarter when the game started to open up. Scuddy up forward. Really presented really well. And as a group, you should be commended on the composure going forward. Yes, we bombed it probably a couple of times, but most of the time we lowered our eyes going forward, which we got the score on the board. So great effort. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Kingston Beach.
Yes, it is.
Plan is to have a little bit in the water, go and have some breakfast together, just recover a little bit. Just start. If we can. But just that little extra. Let's tick it off. Get as a group. Do that. Let's have a couple of drinks tonight. Listen to a couple of songs. Go home. Stay at OB, Burjo. Because week by week, let's keep ticking them off. Well done, boys.
Sorry, can I grab it real quick, mate? A great win by your boys. As you said, not the prettiest match you've ever seen.
No, it's probably the style we have to play. We're a contested side. We do start to use it a lot better on the outside, but finals footy's probably not going to be pretty. So we need to compete for 4 quarters.
I think you had a lot of great contributors, as you mentioned. Deadrock through the middle, Livingstone. We found out that, and Toby Cohen. Every time he gets it, he delivers up forward.
Yeah, he wants to play midfield all the time. Early on in games, we'll probably look to get the bigger bodies in there and then sort of release him later in the game because he can find the footy and he's got good leg speed and good skills.
Bluey Duggan's job on Wig?
Yeah, no, I was happy with that. Wig's a really good player. He's one bloke that can get off the chain for them. So, yeah, Bluey's our best stopper, so we just had to control his influence on the game.
And I thought the move of Joey Dyrene was magnificent on your part to put him into the ruck in that last quarter. He won pretty much every centre clearance.
No, he was really good in the last quarter. I shouldn't claim that. That's Sammy Warren, the bench coach, decided because he hadn't had a good 3 quarters. He gets his head down a bit, but we just put it on him to compete in that last quarter in the ruck.
Next week, Lindisfarne at Anzac Park, a big challenge.
It is, it's massive. First time we won at Boyer last week. It's been a long time since we won at Anzac Park, so it's going to be a good challenge.
Well, best of luck next week. Ben Cato, the coach of the Port Cygnet Footy Club, mate. All the best for next week.
No worries.
There we go. So until next time, we'll catch you around on Duff TV.